My brother, all praises to the Most High.
Shabbat shalom, family. Hey, Dad, this keep going on.
What?
This.
Oh, it's going to sleep.
All right, before we get started with this class, y'all heard anything this week? Y'all got any information to share? Anybody got any questions? Anything on y'all heart that y'all want to speak about before we start the class? Anyone?
I do.
What's up, brother?
I got testimony real fast.
Go ahead, bro.
We do everything spirit and in truth, right?
That's right.
So when I was back in the Christianity church, I used to stand up before the people and talk about tithing. You know, hardcore about it, sincere about it. Got into the truth, tithing, and found out this is a false doctrine. You know, anybody don't know, we all happy to talk, you know, in more detail about it. But we do a free will offering, as it says here. So this morning, I was contemplating on what I was going to give. And sometimes I just buy something that I know the assembly may need. So I was like, yeah, $5. I was like, nah, I've been okay. I'm going to do a little better. I'm going to do 10. And then I was like, nah, Spirit, I'm going to do 20. So I committed at that moment to do 20. I came out the bathroom, was going to grab me some pants to put on, move some jeans to the side, put on some sweats, and I felt on the jeans in my pocket. These jeans been in my drawer for like 2 weeks. Been washed. $21 was in there. My point is, when you make that commitment in spirit and in truth, Most High gonna look after you. You ain't got to feel like I wasn't even missing it. So
Hallelujah. Yes, sir. And y'all, he explained something very important about the Christianity doctrine, y'all. We're talking about a different doctrine than what's read in the Bible. You know, when we was under the order of Aaron, meaning the priests, before Christ was crucified, we were under that order where they were commanded to take tithe. So if you have to give 10% of whatever you did. If you grew corn, 10% of corn. The first of it though, not the last end of it. The best crops of it, if you had goats or you had sheep or you had whatever, if you put money in, you were commanded. If you made shoes, 10% of that went to the Levites because they didn't work, they manned the temple, and it was for the fatherless and the widows. So y'all know that's something that's always been in Israel, a fatherless problem. And widows, either they gone or they got killed. And that was a major problem. And in Israel, we had to make sure that they were taken care of. So that's why that was set up. But under the order of Melchizedek, which Christ is the high priest, we're under what's considered a free will offering, which is still like, if you want to call it a tithe, but it's not a commanded tithe. Meaning that you can give 1% or you can give 100%. It's up to you and what's in your heart that you feel, okay, this is what I need to do. This is what I'm going to do. But that's on you. It's not to be commanded like you got a couple of these camps out here now that's commanding not only 10%, but some are commanding 20% based off of the order of Aaron. It's a wonder. The first thing you need to look and make sure if somebody's saying they messianic, which order are they following? See, and just like the churches, they say we're not under Aaron, but they always use Malachi 3:8, which is under Aaron, to get you to pay tithes. Will a man rob God? So immediately they go to the Old Testament, which they say is no longer in existence. He nailed that to the cross. Or he nailed everything except that. And tithing, what we need to understand, it is a law. And when we understand that, that is a law, but laws change based off of how the high priest run it. And the high priest said, under this order, tithing must be free will upon your increase.
That's right.
If you have no increase, your tithe is keeping of the commandments. That's your tithe. You can at least do that. If you don't have nothing to give, walk according to the law, and it'll show you at least giving your observance to the Most High, because if you can pay tithes, sacrifice without obedience is a waste of time. So even if you were able to pay, but you're disobedient in how you doing it, you showing off, you pop it open in front of somebody. Watch this. 100.
Make sure the church gets that.
No, you can't do it in that sense. You know, so in abundance, there's still a right way to do it. Let not your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That don't mean you dig in here and whatever you pull out, you got to give it up. You're like, wait a minute, that's got rent money in it. No, it's not meaning that. What it meaning is there should be no conscience once you make a decision on what you're going to do. Like bro was explaining at first, he had a number that he said he was going to do, and the number was right there. So he didn't renege on that, or he didn't change his mind and say, well, okay, I'm up, you know, on this one. It was like he just seen exactly where it said, no worries, brother, it's already there. You know, you ain't missed it because it's been there in that drawer for a long time. So y'all, it said is to give freely, but not begrudgingly, meaning that I feel like my arm twisted behind my back. Should I give to the church or should I pay my light bill? Pay your light bill. That's what you have to do, because that's where you have to sleep. We can't move in down here. But if we don't pay the required fee here, you know, then we won't be here either. So y'all, in this world, in this kingdom, it costs. But what we're talking about is not forcing you to pay a cost. Just hoping you understand everything takes money to run in this kingdom, so to speak, until we get to the kingdom that we won't need none of it. And it's not always about that, y'all. Like bro say, what can I give? Do we need? I see somebody just donated all scriptures right here. I don't know who brought them up. Anybody know?
Me.
My sister just brought toilet paper, napkins, and all that.
Napkins and just things like that, y'all. That's what we're talking about. Just where you see and how we fill in. Like we got a door rotation out there. Every hour, somebody got to go out and relieve the man that's out there. It's you won't miss the class for that hour because we have a high-tech monitoring system.
High-tech?
Yeah, high-tech. The baby monitor 3000. You know, so you won't miss anything, so to speak, and then it's being recorded as well. But we just want y'all to understand the difference in what people are saying out there. If you don't hear the order of Melchizedek, watch the high priest.
Can I read the script?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
2 Corinthians,
Yeah.
back up what Dan was saying. 2 Corinthians 9, verse 6 and 7.
Read a little loud.
2 Corinthians 9, verse 6 and 7. But this I say.
Hold on, let everybody get that.
Okay. You there? Second Corinthians 9, verse 6 and 7.
Yes, sir.
But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
Right.
And he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully. Every man according as he purposed in his heart.
Right.
So let him give not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver.
See, so it says not begrudgingly or of necessity, meaning that you've been forced and tell, well, brother, you know better than that. You know you could have passed on buying you them new socks. The ones with the hole in the heel could have been mended. And that money could have been given to the church, same way Judas Iscariot was doing about the woman that was wiping the Messiah's feet with her hair. He said, we could have sold this for much money. He like, you ain't thinking about that much money. You know, you're not understanding she getting me prepared for my death that's coming up. And you want to sell that off? So our mindsets have to be clear on what it talks about giving. Was you through with that script? Now turn right to 1 Corinthians and hit this one too. 9 and 18. Yeah. You can back it up 16. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll just hit the last one, 1 Corinthians 7, so we'll understand this issue when this comes up, y'all. Just like he said, though, many were casting much in the treasury, but the woman that cast in 2 pence cast in more than they ought. Because she did it from her heart. It was all that she had saved, she gave it up. You know, we may look at that as 2 pennies, or, you know, you may walk past, you know, you go in a grocery store, you see a penny on the ground, some people walk past, some people pick it up, and when they get home, throw it in the penny jar.
What script was that, guys?
On the woman that cast in 2 pence? Yeah, we get that as Matthew, I believe it's 12, but I'm gonna double check on that. She cast in more than they ought. But go ahead. Huh? The 1 Corinthians we're going to, yeah, 1 Corinthians 9, right? 16?
We're gonna start at 14.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 14.
Verse 14. Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel.
Right?
But I have used none of these things, neither have I written these things, that it should be done, that it should be so done unto me. For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glory in void. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of.
Right.
For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me, if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation.
See, so right here what he's saying is, if I do it, I have a reward willingly, but if it's against my conscience, so to speak, I'm wasting my time. If you feel like we gotta get up and go down there, it's the Sabbath day, they're gonna be down there, get up, put your clothes on. If it's not, if that's your mindset, you're just making a sacrifice. You just gotta get up, you be looking around, off into space, biting on your fingernails, you know, few of these, you know, just, you know, so your mindset have to be right. So it's saying the sacrifice that I'm making today is because I need to feed my spirit. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 17 again. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will, a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me. What is my reward then? Verily that when I preach the gospel, I make the gospel of Christ without charge.
Without what?
Without charge. And I abuse not my power in the gospel.
And see, like we had somebody that was forcing the selling of a book by charge. And it was relating, all we ask is it a salvation issue? If we don't do this, or we not getting into the kingdom? And if that, the next question would be, so you've been visited by an angel. Because that's the only time these salvation issue woes come, when an angel come or a supernatural event that happen to let you know, you better get on board. This ain't a decision where I ain't never read that. No, if an angel come, it's serious business because he been sent by the Father. So we need to really pay attention to that. So that would be the next question. If it's this vital and our lives are on the line, our soul is on the line, then you spoke with an angel. And we need you to have wrote that down, the time, the hour, and what was said and what is the outcome if we don't. You know, all of that will be laid out. I mean, that's throughout history, throughout angels visiting, they lay the whole plan out. This is what's going to happen. You know, like Abraham asked, if there's 50 righteous, will you save it? He said, if it's 50, 40, if it's 40, 30, 20, 10. It ain't 10 righteous in all of Sodom and Gomorrah and the 5 cities around them. It was 5 cities around them that was full of the same wickedness. And it wasn't 10 that kept the commandments. But it's just like this nation is getting set up for the same thing because they're taught in the Sunday doctrine not to keep the commandments. So the commandment was made up as you go along. And what's going to become normal if you like your dog, marry it then. That's coming down the line. Because what are you using to say you can't do bestiality? Right. If the law is done away with.
And they already practice.
And that's what they practice in preaching every Sunday, and that's what you go tell somebody else. Oh, that got nailed to the cross.
Right.
So what's off limits at this point?
Right.
What can't you say since it's off limits? Yo, so we want to be extra careful. Were you finished with that, bro?
Yeah.
Verse 8, did you? Okay, so just the last one, first, Hebrews 7 chapter. So we understand the difference in the priesthood, and you don't get caught up in that. But y'all, it takes things to run things, you know. So every brother may give in some labor. Y'all, we setting up a cleanup day that where we're going to have brothers come down and make sure the place stays nice and clean. You know, you can't invite nobody to a dirty house. Look, you know, we don't want nobody to have to wipe their feet on the way out so they don't get the city dirty.
Yeah, straight up.
Where you want me to start?
You start right at, right at the tithe. Is it 7 and 4? Hold on. Abraham paid tithes. Let me get right here. Hebrews. Okay, Hebrews chapter 7. Start right about.
Yes,
4 and 5. Okay. Now, I tell you what, go ahead and start 7, 1 through there so we get to understand it. And we'll just stop at verse 10 and then we'll let Paul hit his lesson. Go down to verse 12.
Okay. Hebrews 7.
Nah. Go ahead, bro.
For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him.
So it's talking about this Melchizedek, or who was the high priest after the order of Melchizedek. He wasn't Melchizedek. He was just the high priest at the time that met Abraham. This is the one that met Abraham that you read about it in Genesis 12. You know, you read about it in the book of Jasher, I believe the 16th chapter. You know, the same exact thing. You'll see the difference in that it was the same event. And Shem, Noah's son, the only one left alive from that side of the flood, still left alive, that Abraham was being trained under. You read that in also Jasher 9th chapter and 8th chapter, that he spent 36 years in Shem's house, learning the way of the Lord under the Melchizedek order. And this is way before Mount Sinai. Right. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. To whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all.
What'd he give?
A 10th part of all.
Now see, Abraham, after he went and got Lot back, when they kidnapped Lot, he took all of the possessions back too. So he gave all of the other, he had hired some more soldiers from another nation. They went with to him. He gave them that, but he just took the portion that he said, I ain't taking none for me. The portion that I have, I will give to the king of Melchizedek. I mean, the priest of Melchizedek, the high order. I'll give it to him. You know, so that's what he did. He said, lest any man should say that when I went to war, that made me rich. No, the Most High made me rich. Right. I give y'all back. They took that from y'all, so I'm going to give that back to y'all. You know, and this portion right here, because they have to be paid for their work. You know, these soldiers put their life on the line, so they get a cut. And this other cut I'm going to give because the Lord was with us on this battle. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 2 again. To whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness.
King of what?
King of righteousness. And after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace.
See, and that's what Christ came as, the king of righteousness and the king of peace. Now, sometimes peace have to be made with his sword. So don't get it twisted like the Messiah just throwing out lollipops and flowers and here's one for you and here's one for you. No, he make peace by his wrath. Straight up. That's the quickest way to get peace done. All the hollering stop when your mama go in the closet. Where that bell at? Why get silent then? Do all of the rough stuff. When you hear a rustling in that jar for the best belt.
It's peace then, huh?
It's peace, it's quiet.
They start doing homework.
Right. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the Son of God, abideth a priest continually. Now consider how great this man was, unto whom even the patriarch Abraham gave the tenth of his spoils.
What did he give?
A tenth of the spoils. And verily, they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithe of the people according to the law.
See, so right there it was saying they had a commandment to take tithes of the people when it was under Aaron. Coming out of Mount Sinai, you were commanded. So that meant you had to get busy. You couldn't be hanging around. You had to come up with something that was going to produce something so you can pay tithes.
Right.
Something you had to come up with. And look, you only got 3 years to make sure it had increase. If it didn't, you had to start over and find a new job venture or become a new entrepreneur in something else.
They use that now.
Right. So and they still use that law today. If it's not productive after 3 years, you have to try something else. So I mean, if Earl Chicken Shack and the oil change ain't working, you got to come up with something else.
Right.
You got to come up with something else. So the laws were there, but it never put pressure on you where you were restricted behind your back like that. It said, come up with something. And most of that, y'all, was time. Most people that said that's where we had Hebrew servants amongst Hebrews. They like, look, this is how I can pay you back. But it wasn't like the slavery that you used to seeing on TV. This was like Jeffrey the butler on Fresh Prince. That's what you sold yourself as, to pay it off like that. You were just what was considered an indentured servant. We went through what's called bondage. Two different things. So don't let them trick you with the scripture. When you see Abraham had a servant, Eliezer, but he was like one of his own house, because he thought when the Messiah said you was going to have a son and he going to inherit everything, he thought it was Eliezer, the Syrian. But he like, no, you're going to have your own son in your old age and he going to get the promise. So, y'all, there's instructions on how to treat your servant. You know, and that's what happened. They went way above and beyond the rules of a servant. Go ahead, bro, read some more. But also on the Melchizedek, it said without father and without mother. The only one we know without father and without mother that we can't even get an understanding of, but he said, I'll reveal all the things, is the Father. So the Father is Melchizedek. And Christ is after the order of his Father. Right. We know who Christ's mother was, his earthly mother was, so to speak, and we know who his father was. So this is not even applying to him. He just, after that order, he just happened to be the chief angel that's after that order, because with him under it, he's worthy to be worshipped. None of the others, Shem was never worthy to be worshipped. None of them. Enoch, none of them. Only the Messiah, because he's the only one that gave his life for us, to pay the ransom for what went down in the Garden of Eden. Yo, this goes back to the beginning. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 5, and verily they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law.
According to the what?
According to the law.
So tithing is a law. Right here it is telling you it's a law. So if anybody from Sunday doctrine tell you, but you supposed to, you say, well, ain't that a law? Wasn't that nailed to the Christ too? Or to the cross too? It's a law. You said that. So the burden would be on them to prove how all of the laws went away except the tithing law. That's on them. That's their job, not yours. Go ahead.
That is of their brother.
Of their who?
Brother. Though they come out of the loins of Abraham. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham and blessed him that had the promises.
See, so he's saying Shem, we gave tithes to Shem, and he ain't part of the 12 tribes of Israel, so to speak. He's the father of them, But before the 12 tribes ever came into existence, he come from this side of the world. So what language was Shem them speaking? Yeah, they eventually speak in Hebrew. Well, what was the language in the other world? Who got proof? I mean, there's some writings, but scripturally, 2 witnesses that say this was the pure language that was on the other side. You know, that'd be hard pill to, you could probably throw out enough suggestions out there, but to just pinpoint it like this and say it was Hebrew. You know, so what Hebrew? It can't be the Hebrew we speak it now because it has a little bit of damage in it as well as all the language till the pure language come. Go ahead, bro. You finished that? Yeah.
But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithes of Abraham and blessed him that had the promises. And without all contradiction, the less is blessed of the better.
Right.
And here, men that die receive tithes, but there he received them, of whom it is witnessed that he lived.
Right.
And as I may say, so say, Levi also, who received tithes, paid tithes in Abraham.
So Abraham paid tithes before Levi was born. So even though he was instructed he didn't have to pay tithes, Levi didn't have to pay tithes. Abraham had already paid tithes for him before he was ever thought of. This thing go way back before Mount Sinai. See, everybody try to keep you trapped in Mount Sinai, but we going back to the beginning like Christ said. The priesthood was Melchizedek. The first Melchizedek priest on earth was Adam. That walked on this earth was Adam. He was Melchizedek and passed it down all the way up into us coming out of Egypt. When we went into Egypt, we was under Melchizedek order. Those were the laws we were keeping. We didn't get the schoolmaster till we come out, and that's where we had to be retrained. Like we're gonna have to be retrained again because we think we Gentiles. We think we Afro-Americans. Afro-American. Black, colored, Negroes, so we are the byword and the proverb of the prophecy until we understand our true nature and culture. But it's going to be awful hard to try to get it in a nation that's above you. We can do the best we can, y'all, but when you have to go get their clothes and go to their store, you know, right now if you try to grow some sheep, lamb, the FDA will come and say, you can't do that here in this backyard. You in an apartment complex. You got a garden on the front, the mailman can't get through. What are you doing? So y'all, the Most High already looked out down the road for every condition that we would be in. So there's no condition that we will find ourselves that it's not going to apply to all. Because y'all, the one thing we can't buy is air. And they tainted the air. So where you gonna get that from? I mean, who's selling clean air?
My brother coming up with it.
Right, because you can't just stay on oxygen all the time. We got to continually to pray, and we will put in this condition so we get prepared for what we'll be doing in the kingdom, and that's worshiping the Son and the Father every day. Every day.
Yeah. Every day.
But it's all one continuous day that there's no night there. So y'all, we got to get that understanding. Go ahead, bro, read that a little more. We're going to let bro get to his lesson.
Okay. He was yet in the loins of his father when Melchizedek met him.
Right.
If therefore perfection were made by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need was there that another priest should rise after the order of Melchizedek, and not be called after the order of Aaron?
So it's asking, if we were already under a law, what use did we need another high priest? We had Aaron and Moses who brought y'all the law. What use would it be to have another priest come after the order of Melchizedek? What changes that? Well, the boys on that 2 o'clock prayer.
Ninth hour.
Ninth hour prayer. Oh, when you get that, okay. But he gonna read that, but I want you to finish that, y'all. And this is just out of the book of Jasher, so you know who this Melchizedek was that met Abraham at the slaughter. It was not the father, it was not the Messiah, it was Shem. But Jasher will clear it up. Go ahead, finish reading that.
Verse 12. For the priesthood being changed.
What was the priesthood?
Being changed. There is made of necessity a change also of the law.
So it says the priesthood was changed, but there's a necessity for the law of the priest to be changed. That was the only thing, the law of that priest. But that was, and you say, where in the law did that happen? Deuteronomy 18th chapter. Another prophet is coming. And what he say gonna supersede what I'm telling y'all. So it's right there, of thy brethren. It had to be out of the 12 tribes. It couldn't be from a Muslim doctrine. It couldn't be from Ishmael or Esau. It had to be out of the tribes of Israel that your brother was, that another high priest was coming from a different order. Because Moses said it. It's going to supersede what I'm telling y'all. Because if you don't listen to him, he has more power than me. He can put you to death and judge you. I can't. So that's what allows it to supersede what we got the schoolmaster. Go ahead, bro, read some more.
That's it.
No, go down to 17.
That's it.
For he of whom these things are spoken pertaining to another tribe, of which no man gave attendance at the altar.
Right.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah,
And that-
of which
go
tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
So Moses didn't even talk about this side of the law of a high priest coming, because you could only come out of Levi. But all Levites wasn't high priests. Only Aaron, his brother, and his sons out of the tribe of Levi could be high priests. So they were set apart from Moses and his sons. But if you look at Moses, Moses was looked at like a god, but not Aaron. So Christ came, he said he would come like I'm doing. He gonna speak many words and all of the gifts gonna be on him, but he gonna supersede me. Just like John the Baptist said, I'm before him. No, I'm after him. He was before me, but what I'm saying, I'm gonna decrease, I'm gonna fall back. John the Baptist was the end of the prophets and different things for the schoolmaster, or under the order of Aaron. After John the Baptist, everything else presseth into the kingdom. The only prophets coming is talking about the second coming. So any prophet y'all heard that came from Chicago, he's selling snake oil. What is he talking about? He got some new prophecy. He got the date of the second coming. What does he have that we're going to call him a prophet that we will pay to see him? Because we ain't never had to pay for the prophet. That's another thing. When do you start paying for prophecies? Hear what he has to say. He's sold 10 million books. He's hustled people in Chicago, Florida, Miami. Come hear it and let them hustle you too. That's basically what you do when you introduce him to somebody else. Come hear a bunch of lies about nothing. Because the simple question would be, what's the Powerball numbers for this weekend? I plan on making sure all Israel eat this weekend. What's the numbers to the Powerball? If he knew that, he'd have. And once again, the winner is the prophet from Chicago. Cabrini Greens, Earl Jackson. No. Undisputed. Go ahead, bro. Read a little bit more of that.
Verse 15. And it is yet far more evident, for that the altar, the similitude of the Melchizedek.
Read that again.
And it is yet far more evident, for that the altar, the
For that after. Yeah.
For that after the similitude of Melchizedek, there arises another priest.
See, he said after the similitude. He didn't say he was. He said after that image or that following practice, like Melchizedek. Go ahead.
Who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment.
Not after the law of a what?
Carnal commandment.
So this kill any of them Israelites trying to put you on Hebrews 2:15 that you have to have a natural mother and father, and the seed has to come from the father. That's for the carnal man. That's how you and I were made. But Christ, for him to take the full order of Melchizedek, he had to be made after the law of an endless life. And that means uncorruptible flesh. Hebrews 2:15 is talking about corruptible flesh like you and I got. But this law put him in a position of you're going to have uncorruptible flesh. It will never, the worms will never eat on it. You will never go into rigor mortis. 72 hours, y'all, we in rigor mortis. Go ahead.
Who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life.
After the power of a what?
An endless life.
See, and that's the power he had from the beginning. He said, give me back the glory I had before the world was. Give me back the glory of the endless life. Christ was immortal. Ever before he came through his mother Mary for this earthly mission to set things straight, he was immortal. Satan was immortal. And still is. He can't die. But where he will spend his eternity is in tormentation. The same torment you get day and night and you blame him for, now you see why he on your heels so hard. He like, I got way longer to suffer this than y'all do. Hell, y'all don't live past 70 years old. I've been knowing my death sentence is coming since I was thrown out of heaven. And that was way before the Garden of Eden. Way before that. See the brothers class on the heavens were of old. And you'll understand that perfectly. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 17. For he testified, thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
See right there. So y'all see, if they're not talking Melchizedek, make sure whoever in the Israelite, and you see they got chief high priests and different things like that. If they naming people like that, they still under Aaron. So their Messiah belief is not in the true Messiah. Right. They're prophesying about a man that's going to eventually call himself the Messiah here on earth full of sin. Y'all, that's what they're going to end up doing because they already doing the commandments and their whole priest is of Aaron. Then what they've done is basically pull Christ back down off the cross. What use did they have of him and they back under that order? But he's just going to read that Jasher, y'all, to tell y'all that this Shem, that Melchizedek was Shem. And this is in the book of Jasher, saying the same thing. What started right at the top of the what was it? 7, yeah. And this is in the book of Jasher, chapter 7. Chapter 16, verse 7.
Verse 7.
Y'all, and this matches up with the Genesis 12 of what we're talking about. Who was that Melchizedek that met Abraham? Or after that high priest order. Go ahead, brother.
Book of Jasher, chapter 16, verse 7. And Abram heard this, and he rose up with about 318 men that were with him.
So you read that same exact language in Genesis 12, that Abraham gathered up 318 men to go get Lot. They had Lot captive. Go ahead.
And he that night pursued these kings and smote them.
What'd he do?
Smote them. And they all fell before Abram and his men. And there was none remaining but the 4 kings who fled. And they went each his own road. And Abram recovered all the property of Sodom. And he also recovered Lot and his property.
So you see, he got everything back that them jack artists came and got. He recovered everything. Even his nephew, because that's what he went for. They didn't hit Sodom. And they got your nephew, man. So that's why Abraham mounted up. Go ahead.
His wives and the little ones and all belonging to him, so that Lot lacked nothing. And when he returned from smiting these kings, he and his men passed the valley of Siddim, where the kings had made war together. And Bera, king of Sodom, and the rest of his men that were with him went out from the lion pits unto which they had fallen, to meet Abram and his men. And Adonizek, king of Jerusalem, the same was Shem, went out with his men to meet Abram and his people.
So in that language, because you'll see it not known as Adonizek. Instead of modern English, say Melchizedek. But what you have to look at is what is the event. You know, it's the same event, but instead of him saying Melchizedek, he said Adonizek, which means the same thing. Priest, righteous king, and high priest, the order of Melchizedek. It just called him Azoniadek in that language. You know, you'll see Isaiah in the Old Testament, but you'll see Esaias in the New Testament, it means the same thing. Or like Revelation 9, the beast in the bottomless pit. In the Hebrew tongue, he's Abaddon. But in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon. But he's the same what? Beast in the bottomless pit.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
With bread and wine.
With what?
With bread and wine. And they remained together in the valley of Melech. And Adonizedek blessed Abram. And Abram gave him a tenth from all that he had brought from the spoil of his enemies. And Adonizedek was a priest before Yahweh. And all the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah who were there with their servants approached Abram and begged of him to return them their servants whom he had made captive, and to take unto himself all property.
Yeah, that's good. But you see that priest it says that high priest was Shem. The same was Shem from the other world. So y'all, we understand that clearly, but he was called a priest, not the Father, not the Messiah, but just a priest after the order. And this way before Mount Sinai, y'all. Before the order of Aaron was even thought about. This was a high priest. So, but this is where he just was explaining about tithing. We had to go the full gamut so you understand the order. When somebody talking about giving money or explaining of giving money, you have to ask what order are they moving through, or what's the vibration. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's move on. Bro, you ready?
The lesson we got up for today is, or you sick.
Or you what?
Or you sick. It's a question.
Yes, I am.
Not a statement. Or you sick. Is you sick?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we just gonna go and explain what I mean by this. So I wanted to start off with a little science and chemistry. So we all use this term very loosely. We call ourselves melanated people, and we have melanin, and everybody always talking about melanin but don't know nothing about melanin. All y'all know is it make us dark, right? So we all look at it, and when we say melanin, we just see it for skin pigment, but it's a real deep meaning to it. So melanin is just another word that the white man put to keep you away from what it really is, and it's really called carbon database. And amongst all black people, because remember in the beginning it was nothing but black people, but amongst all black nations, the so-called African American Negroes have the most melanin in their bodies. So the thing about melanin, y'all look this up and write it down. The thing about melanin is it takes the structure and the form of anything. And it's what your third eye, which is they call your pineal gland, it secretes melanin. So the bigger your pineal gland is, the more melanin you secrete. The more melanin secrete, it determines how you speak, how you talk, how athletic you are, how you walk, how you jump. That's why we jump the highest. That's why we sing. That's why we rap the best. That's why we can run the fastest, right? So this thing called melanin that we have, every nation have it because every nation came from black people. Whether you white, Hispanic, no matter who you are, you have melanin.
Say that again.
Even a white man have melanin. The thing is, he has more melanin than you because his pineal gland is smaller than you, meaning he's not smart as you. That's why he used the trickery and the sequence to do to win you over, right? So the thing is, or you sick. And this is how you determine if you're sick according to science and according to the doctors. They're going to give you all these doctor names, but you're sick if your melanin is being deficient. That's what makes you sick. And what makes your melanin deficient is mucus. The more mucus your body produces, the sicker you are because your melanin cannot go outside. It can't cycle through your body because it runs through your blood. It runs through your veins. Melanin is made of protons, neutrons, electrons, which give you light. That's melanin.
Right.
You know what that's called? That's called a cell. Everybody is made of cells. When you get in the shower and you get in the shower and you see all that dirt, that's not dirt. That is skin cells because you're constantly dying. Right? So what keeps you alive is the breath in your body and the melanin that your pineal gland secrete. So the question is you sick? All sickness means is being melanated, having melanin sufficient. That's all it is. And actually look this up and look up the word melanin, carbon. The more carbon you have, the more healthy you live. You know what I'm saying? They always say protein. No such thing as protein. Look at, there's no such thing as protein. No such thing as that. All protein is melanin. That's all it is. That's it. Actually look this stuff up. So what they have done is they have put this westernized program on us. And they changed the name of everything because they know once you really start studying melanin, you're going to get down to that carbon. Well, carbon is only found in one place. And guess where that is? In the Eastern Hemisphere. We from the West Bank of Jerusalem. That is Africa/Asia. That is where all this really stemmed from and came from. So they know if you really start following this, you're going to go back and you're going to find what they call the homeland. So we're going to get to it, or you sick. So I want to start off with Isaiah chapter 1. We're going to read 1 through 5. And then as we go through the scripture, you answer your own question. Of course, y'all going to say yeah now, but we're really going to get down into it and see how sick we really is, or if we not sick. And is there a cure? And how do you get that cure? So we're going to base it all off of this thing called melanin or carbon. Remember, all these things, a sickness just means when this stuff start getting damaged. When it start getting damaged, you get damaged because this is what your body is made of. It's nothing but matter and particles. That's where you get the word dark matter from. Carbon. Everything is made of solid, liquids, and gases. That's what makes all of this. And that's what melanin is. So when the doctors test it, they don't test the liquefied part. They don't test the oxygen part. They test the actual solid part, which is called crystallized melanin. And this is what you touch, something that's solid. All right, let's get to it.
Reading from the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 1.
Hey, and if y'all don't understand what I'm saying, please tell me. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know I'm up here using all these terms. All right, so if y'all don't understand, let me know, but we can actually really break it down. Because it's real important that we get into this, because what we finna go into is your health.
Right.
Because your health has so much to do with your salvation. A lot to do with your salvation. That's why he gave you a dietary law, for you can eat healthy, right? He didn't just give you the law just for you to eat healthy. You eat healthy for a reason. Huh?
No.
When he said, thou shalt not have no other gods before me, he gave you that for a reason. Of course, he's a jealous God, but there's something beyond that. Because he gave you an identity. You know what our identity is? Identity is a culture, it's a language, it's a land. Notice we're not in our land. Well, guess where our food used to grow? In our land. So if we're not in our land, then what are we eating?
Hold on. Hey, y'all, if y'all got any open seats, and y'all got books in them as we get more crowded, kind of put the books underneath your seat. Y'all good? It may be spaces here in the middle, y'all. So
we got to get back.
yeah, we got a whole row right here. Yeah.
Then there's chairs over there too, y'all. All right, let's get it. We in the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, start at 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah.
Saw who? Concerning who?
Judah.
So he's talking about the Jews. Judah and what?
And Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem. He's talking about us as a whole inside our land, right? Come on.
In the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Come on, Hebrew.
Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High hath spoken. I have nourished.
You have what?
I have nourished.
You have nourished. Come on.
And brought up children. And they have rebelled against me.
You hear that? So he said he have nourished and brought up children. That's like your mother giving birth to you. She breastfeeds you. She feeds you. She gets you healthy. And then when you get older, you turn your back and rebel against her. Same thing with your father. He teach you all these skills. He give you wisdom. He makes sure you're healthy. Show you how to exercise. He with you all through your life. Then you get to a certain age where you think you know it all, and you turn your back on him and rebel against him. How would you feel? Huh? So everybody be like, well, I don't like that God. God shouldn't kill babies. But if you actually really get down into the idea of what he's doing, you would do the same thing to your people if your children turn their back on you when you gave them everything. Huh? Come on.
Can you start back at the top, please?
Go ahead.
At the top, the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 1. the vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah.
Come on.
So this is a vision that he saw?
Yeah, this is a vision that he saw. It's going to answer itself. This is a vision that he's seen. He's seen a vision of a wicked nation. It's like all the prophets seen a vision of a wicked nation.
Good.
And he gave the words to the prophets. The prophets came and spoke to the prophets. Hey, get y'all stuff together. Repent, turn back to God. Because when he come back, he coming for war like Dan was just saying.
Good.
He's coming back to spill blood. That's the quickest way to make peace. It's war. Come on.
Verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me.
Come on.
The ox knoweth his owner.
You hear that? Say the ox knows his owner.
Right.
A dog know his master. Right? Your child call you daddy. Don't your child call you daddy?
Right.
Daddy? Y'all childs call y'all mother. So everybody knows who owns them, right? Come on.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Come on.
But Israel doth not know.
You hear that? We don't know who owns us. Everybody know their position. Everybody know they role. But us.
Right.
And we're the smartest people on planet Earth. So now you got to start asking yourself questions. If everybody know, even the degenerate Negroes, which we would call the so-called white man, they structured just like us, they just have melanin deficiency. Theirs is just lower than ours. So they will be a low black man. That's what they'd be called. So even they know who their master is. Most of them proudly worship Satan. They know who their master is. Right? The dog know who his master is. Your child call you daddy. Your child call you mama. But when it comes to our Father, we don't know who our owner is. Now, us being the most intelligent people on planet Earth, and the ones that's less intelligent than us know who their owner is, what would you call them? It wouldn't be us being stupid, because we're the most intelligent people on Earth. That will be a mental illness. That will be a sickness. So the question is, are you sick? Come on.
My people doth not consider.
Come on.
Ah, sinful nation.
Hear that? Ah, sinful nation. We a sinful nation. A sick nation. Come on.
A people laden with iniquity.
You hear that? It said iniquity is in our bones. You go to Jeremiah 17:4, it said it's written what? On the tablets, engraved in our hearts. And for that, if you read verse 4, it says, for that he will what? Thou shalt discontinue from the heritage that I gave thee. What is a heritage? A heritage is a land. We're from Jerusalem, but where we at? In America. Egypt, Babylon. It's a language. We speak in English, and we ain't even in England. And our original tongue is what? Hebrew.
That's right.
It's a culture. We celebrate Christmas and all these folly days.
Not me.
Who is keeping all of these holy days that's in the Bible? We lost our culture, and it's a God. And most of our people is not worshiping our God. But yet and still, we the most intelligent people on planet Earth.
Right.
So is that making us stupid? Or is stupid a part of a word called sickness? It's a mental illness upon our people. Mental. And we finna break it down with science inside the Bible. Do you know the more sicker you get? You know what's, look, this is the crazy thing. When you get sick, what you do? The first thing you do is you run for medicine. So why are we not doing the same thing in the spirit? When you get sick, you search for a cure.
Right.
Why are we not doing the same thing in the spirit? Let that chest start hurt. Guess who you calling on? Guess who you calling on?
Not Marcus Welby
You
on
ain't calling no doctor. You ain't calling. You calling on God first, right? Then you dial it 911. So why we not doing it in the spirit?
Right.
Right.
So could we be so sick that we even forgot how to call on our God? Could we be so sick that we forgot there is a cure? Or could we be so sick that we started to lack belief and faith? Or is that what made us sick? Exactly. Let's get to it. The scriptures say Come on.
So chapter 4 right here is saying a nation. So the Bible broke off into nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us being black is a nation by itself.
No. Hey, look, in the beginning there was no such thing as a crackazoid. In the beginning there was no such thing as a melanin deficient person. In the beginning everything was carbon, everything was black, everything was dark as the dirt, as soil, richness, everything was. What separated you was your nation. A nation is a nationality. A nationality is a heritage. It's a bloodline, a language, a land, and a God. That's what separated us, right? That's what separated us. Remember, everybody think Israel, the Israelites, or this ancient people. We're a new nation. The Israelites are new. We're a new nation. The Africans are actually older than the Israelites. They're not older than Hebrews. Hebrews been here since the beginning of time, but not Israel as a nation. We're a new nation. That's why you see literature and you see writings in different caves that they date based older than Israelite writings, but it's not older than the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? That's why you find literature, and then it messes with y'all faith because y'all don't have an understanding of that. See, Israel is a new nation, but the Hebrews, which are our ancestors, they've been here since the beginning of time, and that's what you would call who? Adam and Eve. Them knew that he murdered, he committed murder. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta get an understanding on that. Come on.
Verse 4. Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers.
You heard that? A seed of evildoers. What is a seed? A seed is the first thing. A seed of evildoer. Now you know where sin came from. We all know that Satan sinned first, but you know who taught the nation sin? Black people taught black people to sin. Everybody want to blame the white man. We was sinning first.
Yeah.
You just see that a seed. Seed means first you put it in the ground and it grow up, and then other things grow from that seed. Come on.
Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Most High. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Come on.
They are gone away backward.
You hear that? We went away backwards, meaning at first we were what? Forward. We were progressing in life. We were becoming gods in the flesh. Same thing that Christ had taught us how to do. That's why he had to come and manifest himself into the flesh to show us, no, align these body parts, align these glands, align these organs. Don't sin, eat right, and you can do things in this. He said, oh, if you believe this, you'll do greater works than these. Did I not say that ye will die? But you will die like men and fall like the princes. Because of what? Sin, our sickness. When you're sick, you can't operate at the level you can. You go to work every day on time. Let you get sick. You probably going to call off or you're going to be late. Right. Meaning that you're not moving how you used to due to your sickness. So what is causing us to be sick? Sin. That's it. That's why he gave you a dietary law where you can eat right. Look, it starts off spiritual and it manifests in the physical. Right. Once you get your mind right, your body will follow. Mind don't matter. If it don't mind, it don't matter. Y'all can I tell me that all the time. If it don't mind, it don't matter.
Don't matter. Right.
What is matter? Matter is made of dark carbon. What do they call dark carbon? Melanin. Who is the most melanated people on this planet?
Africans. No. But you have to be careful that we don't put those two nations together.
Yeah, look,
because
we finna most definitely get into that. And that's what this whole thing, this whole lesson is about. It's about Africans and Israel. This whole entire lesson. We finna get to it. Come on.
Verse 5. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick.
The whole what?
The whole head is sick.
So now we see this word sick. The whole head is sick because of our iniquities and our sin. Let's look up this word sick. Let's look it up. We're going to be in the Strongs a lot, so let's look up this word sick. Let's look up that word.
You got it. This is out of the Hebrew H2484. Kali, coli, or sickness, disease, grief, sick, from Kali or coli, malady, anxiety, calamity, disease, grief, sickness.
So sickness is grief, dis-ease, anxiety. So the spirit of anxiety is what? A sickness. The spirit of stress, and stressing is what? A sickness. Grief. Grief is what? It's a sickness. All these things come from what? Sinning. Huh? Come on.
The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint.
And the whole heart is faint.
Yep.
Come on, let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28. Yeah, most definitely.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it.
You hear that? We're going to come back to this. We're going to read it. Yeah, it's all good.
But wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, they have not been closed.
You hear what he's saying? So he's saying it starts from the mind, it starts with the head, but then what else happens? It works its way through the body, just like any sickness or any poison do. It starts with the melanin, and then it works its way into your bloodstream. It starts from the mind, then it corrupts the whole entire body. That's what sin do, which is a sickness. Come on.
They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
All right, we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, read verse 15 first, and then we're going to jump to 20. So the question is, are you sick? So like you see us, we be physically tired all the time. And we always catching all these colds from here and there, all these different diseases that's put upon our people, even amongst us that's within this classroom. Most of that be from straight sinning.
Right.
Honestly, it be from sinning, and we finna show that physical sickness is from spiritual sin. That's just what it is. And you start seeing that your body start going through these changes. Your body is going through these changes because, for one, we're not in the place we're supposed to be in. We're not speaking the language we're supposed to be speaking, which means we're not eating the food we're supposed to be eating because your food grew in your land. Your food grew in your land. We're in a different land due to what? Sin. Said he was going to send another nation from afar, right? That we was going to worship and serve, right? So you see the direct effects from you sinning. Sickness is produced. Mucus is produced.
Right.
And this thing damaged what you will call the diaphragm. Have you ever heard of the hydro collider? Where they pushing atoms together at the sound of light and creating dark holes in matter? What y'all think is that dye particle they using? That is melanin. Why is all these black people ending up missing with their organs taken out? They're not taking their organs for the organs. They're not using the organs on the black market. Your melanin is secreted inside your organs. That's where the most melanin is at. Guess how much it's going for right now? $454 a gram. Look it up. Look this stuff up. That's how important it is to our bodies, and we damaging it by sin. And again, amongst all black people, the so-called African-American Negroes have higher melanin and bigger pineal glands than all dark races. So they'll let you know that that's a separation between us and the Africans right there.
Right there.
Huh? Did he say? I'm saying amongst the so-called black American Negroes, we have larger pineal glands and pituitary glands than any other dark race. That's a separation. Remember, melanin goes through the bloodline, so that means your bloodline is different too. Like through science, you can make a distinction between one black brother and another black brother. Through science. So you can't say this book is not on science. It's a scientific book. Come on.
We're going to be reading in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, starting at verse 15. Let's get some understanding. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
All these curses,
Look up curses, Hebrew. Come on.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he's saying, I'm finna give y'all something. If y'all don't hearken on to what I tell y'all to do, I'm finna put curses upon y'all. Y'all not gonna be a cursed people, but I'm gonna put a curse upon y'all. So let's look up this word curse.
It's 870:45. Curse, vexation, excreation.
Y'all know what vexation is, right?
Vexation.
It's stress,
Right.
anxiety, vexation. Come on.
That's all it's saying. On the strong. This, you see if it's more than
Rock right there.
Right. Jump down to verse 20.
Down to verse 20. The Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed,
Come on.
and until thou perish quickly.
Hear that? So sin destroys the body.
Right.
Just like cancer. What do cancer do? It destroy and mutate the cells of the body. When the cells get weak, what else get weak? The immune system. Same thing as HIV and AIDS. They the same disease with different names, but y'all can pay for different medicine. Same thing. And guess how all of it's cured? It's the same disease. It's all cured by your diet. Ain't that crazy? Because we all going against what he gave us, which is the dietary law. You know what most, do y'all really want to know where most of these cancerous cells are found? In pork. Guess what else comes from pork? High blood pressure. Guess what else comes from pork? Diabetes. They looked inside of pork and find a sickle cell. A sickle cells. Notice it got a cell in the end of it. So you want to mutate your cells, go eat the swine.
Right.
Come on.
Because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
Come on.
The Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee,
Come on.
until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
All the way down to 27.
The Most High shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever.
With a fever. Now guess what? You have a mucous membrane in your body. When viruses get attached to them, this is how you know you're sick. First thing you do, your body starts overheating. Well, it's overheating because you have a chemical called ammonia in your body. Ammonia. When ammonia gets cold, guess what it do? It gets hot. When it gets hot, it freezes up. Well, the so-called Caucasian have the highest amount of ammonia in their body with sulfur, right? So that's why when they in cold weather, it warms up and get hot. They put on shorts. That's why you see them walking around in the middle of winter with shorts on. Because they actually are hot. It's another thing about it. This is science. This is science though. It's another thing about it. When this sulfur and this ammonia mix up or get wet and H2O hit it, it turns into this pheromone. This pheromone is what, have you ever heard of the person when they wet, they smell different than us? Well, that is ammonia and sulfur mixing together. It's called sodium and salt. That's why when you go to the beaches in high salt water or in chlorophene, you see who all in the pools or who all in the seas. White people. It's a part of their climate and their condition. So they're in their climate and in their condition, but guess who's not? Us. But why we're not in our climate and our condition? Because we did what? We sinned against the Most High, which leave you in the element state of being sick. Y'all understand that?
Yes.
All right, come on.
Verse 22. The Most High shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation.
Inflammation. Who all had inflammation of the joints? Y'all know what that is? That is mucous membrane going into your joints, and what it's doing is it's mixing with calcium. Have y'all ever heard of calcium buildup? That is high amongst, guess who? So-called melanated people. We was the healthiest people and the smartest people on planet Earth. All the nutrients that Mother Earth had, guess what she gave it to? Just like through breast milk, when the baby sucks on the nipple, all the nutrients and all the nutrients goes to the child. But when we was created from earth, Adam and Eve, and we're descendants of them, all of that nutrients passed down and passed down and passed down. Same thing. So we have calcium, we have sulfur, we have ammonia, we have carbon. All these things that make up science. Right. So this is the thing. So when the white man is telling you about science, guess who is they telling you about? They're telling you about you. But we don't know that due to what? Sickness. Come on.
And with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew.
Mildew. Mildew is mold. Huh? Don't a lot of y'all got mold somewhere in y'all houses? I'm telling you, it's everywhere. Well, look, your body produces this too. Your body produces mold too. You know where mold come from? It comes from still water. It dries and gets wet again, and dries and gets wet again. Your body do this all the time. You know what that's called? Fungus, fungi. A lot of people have nail fungus, toe fungus. All this comes from sin. All of these things come from sin. Because you're in an environment that you ain't supposed to be in because of sin. Right. Let's keep reading.
And they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass.
You hear that? So now it's brass. Adam used to look straight up into the heavens and pray to the Lord. Well, through these prayers, you had healing prayers. Huh? He used to actually commune with the angels in the heavens. He could look up and see. Well, now it's brass there. So now you're sick, right? But you sinning. They say God said he don't need sinners. So you're sick and you're still sinning, getting more sick. Then you want to cry out for God, but you don't want to do what you got to do to get the cure. So right then and there is brass. Right. Ain't none of your messages getting heard anyway. Because as soon as you get cured, you're going to go back and do the same thing. It's like somebody getting kidney stones from drinking. They don't drink until the kidney stone passes, and then as soon as they ain't got the kidney stone no more, what's the first thing they do? First liquor store. What is that called? That is called an illness, a sickness. You know it's killing you, but you addicted to killing yourself. That is a sickness.
Yeah, it is.
Huh? You watch videos and you see worms in this meat, but you will still eat this meat. That is a sickness. Huh? What else do we call it? I mean, we can call it other word, illness, diseases.
Tastes good.
Huh?
That's what they say.
And all these things equal
good.
what? If sickness go untreated, what do we equal?
Death.
Yeah.
For the wages of sickness is what? Death. Wages of sin.
Right.
Come on.
And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Come on.
The Most High shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
Rain of thy land, powder and dust. What is Israel till this day now? Israel, Egypt, all that became a big what?
Dust
bowl.
Yep.
Full of dust. Now look, a lot of Africans was actually left in, a lot of Israelites was actually left in Africa. So Dan said it earlier, wherever you go, that curse is going to be upon you. So they stayed in the land where it was green at. But now they suffer from the same melanin deficiency that we going through because they lack nutrients too. He cursed the land everywhere we was at. He cursed the food everywhere we was at. You can't get outside the curse.
So even though there's Israelites in Jerusalem now, they still face Deuteronomy 28.
They still
even in the land that we brought from, because of sinning continuously, because a lot of them in the land believing that Benjamin Carter was the Messiah.
Right.
So that's still a level of sickness in the land.
And Dan, tell them about the radiation active.
Yeah, and they got them in Dimona. Dimona is where the Israeli have their nuclear facility located at. So, and they say it's been leaking for years. So they put them right there near a leaking nuclear facility. Like in Russia, they had a leak in Chernobyl, and it just leaked out where they have it stored. It leaked through the concrete, and they had to evacuate that, and they say it won't be habitable for people to live there for another 20,000 years. And that happened back in 1980. So another 20,000 years before you be able to step foot on there. It's just like Pruitt-Igoe. They were spraying chemicals in Pruitt-Igoe off the rooftop. If y'all ever seen the old films about Pruitt-Igoe that was down on Jefferson and Cass, it's still a wilderness to this day. They ain't rebuilt nothing on it. They ain't did nothing because the chemical has defiled the soil so bad they can't build nothing on it.
Exactly.
It's a through piece until the earth regenerates itself.
Right. Y'all heard that? And look, them people over there in Dimona, over there dying off cancer. Every other month they got somebody getting diagnosed. And these are people showing that you can't escape your sickness. Because the only way you can escape your sickness is if you stop sinning. The only way you can stop sinning is if you put on Christ, because he is the cure. That's why he healed people and said what? Go forth and what? Sin no more.
Right.
We let you know that sin causes what? Sickness. But we just gonna do it from a science base to show y'all that the Bible deals with chemistry, chemicals, and all of these things. And we gonna show where the system really came from and how they hijacked it. Because where was we at for a long amount of time? We was in Egypt. We was in Africa. Why you think the Most High said I'm gonna make a difference between Israel and the Egyptians? Huh? Why you think you said, hey, you can marry any woman you want to, but you better not marry what? You better not marry no Egyptian.
Right.
You start getting into their, why was the Africans so separated from us? What was they doing?
Wicked.
Did they help us do this sin? Did they teach us a lot of things too? Let's read it. Come on, we're gonna read this to 27, then jump to 58.
And before you go any further, we was in Israel, and then we got bamboozled, and we ran to Africa, right? Was we in Africa before that?
Look, so you got to go back to Abraham. If you actually look up where Abraham come from, Asia, which is Asia, which means to manifest, which is the land of Shem. That's Asia. That's the continent of Asia. That's where you get the word Semitic from, right? Semitic. Well, then you got the Hamitic people. That's the land of Ham. That's what they call Africa. Well, back in, before the Pangea and all of that, before the big earthquake came, and before everything split, there used to be one land mass. Right. Everything was so-called Africa. Right. Everything was our forefathers' land. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was we migrated. Remember, he was talking to Abraham, and what did he tell Abraham to do? Go find the promised land. What Abraham do? He packed up his stuff and he left. Yeah. Well, he left from out of his section and he went into the Hamitic section. That's when he said, do this, do that. All right, get them, get that. That's why he said, don't hate them, because we was in their land. Yeah, we were in their land, meaning we had our own land at first. He gave us their land to possess. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's all you. Once you get the map, just if you get to your 1611 Bible, you should have the map at the end of it. It'll show you how everything was. You know what I'm saying? It was all connected. So we're not from Africa. Africa was given to us by our father. It was given to us because it's his land. You know what I'm saying? You're from where your ancestors are originally from. You know what I'm saying? And Abraham wasn't from Africa. Abraham wasn't from Africa. He was from Shem.
The whole continent of Africa was given to us.
Yeah, given to us, yeah. But it was split up though. First, if you start really getting, first he migrated here, they took over that. Then Lot and them went that way. Remember, the land was so big, remember that was banging over the land? And Abraham like, look, it's too much land for us to be having confusion over. You get the whole western plain. You know how big Africa is? You know what I'm saying? All right, come on, let's get it.
With verse 24, the Most High shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
Did that not happen? Yeah. All right, come on.
From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Didn't that happen? Yep. All right, come on.
Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them.
Y'all see that? I know y'all be watching cops. Y'all be seeing how them niggas be running. Boy, them Negroes be running from the police, don't they? We used to be the ones chasing them off.
Right.
So you see, prophecy have been fulfilled. Or it's being fulfilled. Come on.
And shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Ain't we everywhere? We're everywhere. It ain't no country you can go to on planet Earth that you won't find a Negro. Period. And guess what? When you find that Negro, guess what his mind state is? Sickness. He's being oppressed. He's getting treated lower than anybody on planet Earth. Now we read why. Come on.
Verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beast of the earth, and no man shall fray them away.
Y'all used to see that too. Back in the day, when we used to get hung, they used to feed us to their dogs. They used to feed us to their dogs. And it's a book called Dirt. Get a book called Dirt. It's a book called Dirt. Look this up and buy it. They show you how we used to be on recipe books. Like we was a recipe. Most of the actual slaves that left from the West Bank, they didn't even make it over here. We was eating. We was boiled. Babies was being cooked. It's a recipe with you in it. Now you know where real spiritual drinking come from. Where's the blood coming from that they drinking? They not drinking, they either drinking blood of a goat, a blood of a calf, or a blood of you. Because all of this blood signifies something spiritual. And they know that we're the spiritual people of the book. What better blood it is than your blood?
Right.
Like, look this stuff up, it'll blow your mind, man. We were on menus, man. Us. Come on.
Verse 27. The Most High will smite thee with the botch of Egypt.
It was what?
Smite thee with the botch of Egypt.
Look up the word Egypt. Get that word Egypt. Keep reading, Hebrew.
And with the emeralds, and with the scab.
With the scab. Only a scab come from what? A scab comes from when your skin is scarred, right? Oxygen hits your blood. And guess what starts building up on there? Carbon. That's why it's black and it's crusty. That's called crystallized melanin. Notice your scabs get black, right? That's what's called crystallized melanin. Carbon. See how this is all science in the Bible, man. I'm telling you, it's deep.
What does botch mean? What does botch mean?
Let's look it up. Look up botch first.
I'm on Egypt right now.
Go ahead.
I'll read that. It's Egypt is 47, H47:14. Mitzrayim, a country at the northeast section of Africa.
Hear that? Mitzrayim.
Adjacent to Palestine, and through which the Nile flows. The inhabitants or natives of Egypt agitated.
Now look, check this out. That's the definition right now. As we start going into the New Testament, watch the definition change. Egypt.
Yeah, it means bondage.
It means bondage. All right, and then if you actually look at that word up, it means boils and tumors. But I just want them to read it.
Botch is Shekin. It's 878:22. Boil, inflamed spot, inflammation, eruption, a man of man, leprosy of man and beast.
You're that sickness. Because you know what a boil is? A boil is full of pus. Y'all know what pus is? Pus is mucus. That's why you're not supposed to be drinking milk from cows. It's full of pus and mucus. It's bad for your body. You already have a mucus membrane. You don't need to add no more mucus to it. Mucus is sin. Just like yeast is represented as sin. Notice he pick out food and ingredients and you know what I'm saying? Same thing with mucus. It represents sin. The more mucus you have in your body, the more sin you have in your body. That's what you know what fasting do? Fasting eliminates mucus. Everybody gets sick, just stop eating. Just stop eating. You get sick, pray and fast. See, didn't he say pray and fast when you're sick? Same thing. The doctors will tell you the same thing. Stop eating. So you tell them you got cancer, what they gonna say? You gotta change your what? Diet. Well, the first part of changing your diet, you gotta do what? Fast. Even if you want to get an exam, 24 hours before you go to the doctor, you can't do what? Eat or drink.
And they just came up last year, they said that it's a scientific fact that a 72-hour fast regenerates
your whole immune
system.
Your whole immune system. Now, what is AIDS? AIDS is an attack on what? Your immune system. So how do you get rid of AIDS? Fasting and prayer.
Wow.
I think he was having a mental block.
Oh, okay.
All right, come on, let's get it.
Go ahead.
Verse 27 again. The Most High will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou cannot be healed.
Y'all cannot be healed. So what's the opposite of being healed? Sickness, disease, illness. Jump to verse 50. 58, brother.
Verse 58.
Notice he said Egypt, y'all.
Yeah.
If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Most High thy Elohim, then the Most High will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses.
What?
And sore sicknesses.
Look, sickness is amongst the black community more than any other race, more than diabetes. Yeah. I'm talking about when you blush, and all of it got to do with cells. All of it got to do with your cells. Showing you when you sin, you're modifying your cells. And when you modify your cells, it's called a sickness. Because when your cells start modifying, it means it starts to fight with each other. That's what you, look, they even call it a killer T what? Cell. What is it killing? It's killing off the other cells. It's killing the bad cells. It's like good bacteria and bad bacteria. Huh? So when you sin, when you're sinning, you actually messing with the inside of your body. You're messing with the oxygen in your blood. Right. You're messing with the calcium on your bones. You're messing with the actual nervous system. You're messing with your brain. It's also cerebrum too. You mess with your pituitary gland, your pineal gland. You start messing with your glands. That's why a lot of people got thyroid problems. Huh? A lot of black men have prostate cancer. You know what your prostate is? That's a gland. So these sins and the sickness attach to your organs and attach to your glandular highway. You are literally killing yourself by sickness. Literally. Right. And it's real sickness I'm talking about. Like, look this stuff up. Come on.
And of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt.
You see that word? Egypt again. All the diseases of Egypt. So that means when we think of Egypt, we're supposed to be thinking of what? Sickness. We ain't supposed to be around a sickness like that. Come on.
Which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness.
Every what?
Every sickness.
See this? See how many times you read this word? Every sickness, come on.
And every plague, which is not written in the book of this law.
You hear that? Even sicknesses that ain't even written in this book. Huh? So he ain't talking about no bubonic plague. He talking about stuff that you ain't never even heard of. Right now, it's diseases being created. Like Ebola. You know what Ebo means? It means Hebrew. Ebola means kill the Hebrew. A disease made for you. Ebo means Hebrew. Ebola. That's the disease. They named the disease. Notice the disease only killed black men. Only killed black people. Ain't no white person ever died from Ebola. Because their cells are different than us. It was made to attack your cells. Your cells in your body. Ain't this crazy? Like sickle cells is only a black man disease. Or third, what they call it? Third something prostatic cancer. Only black men can get this certain level of prostatic cancer. Only us. How is that even possible? That lets you know that your genes are totally different from anybody else's genes. Pork. They can eat pork all day. Let us eat some pork. Our insides messed up. We get all like they cool worms. Have you ever seen pimples on your face that turn white and dark? Everybody thinks it's just like a bump with pus. That's actually the end of the butt of a worm. It's what's in your skin. Look this stuff up. There are worms in your face. They're trying to escape. It's too much unhealthy things going on in your body. They're trying to leave your body. That's where you get bumps from. All this is sickness. We read about that though. He's gonna give you worms. What he say, Dan? He said the unquenchable fire with the worm what? Die. He show you signs through your skin. That's a sign of sickness. Having worms, which is pimples and stuff. That's a sign of sickness. Well, think about this forever. Forever mind state, which is the lake of fire. Right,
and when you go to a dermatologist, once again, the diet is handed first.
Yep.
And then the medication. If you can't do this diet, then order you up some Proactive off of Amazon. Right. It'll eat it up, but it's gonna cause damage to your skin cells. It may smooth your face out, but if you read the ingredients, what's in Proactive, hydrochloric acid, such and such stuff you would clean the sink with. You know, so it's the same thing like if you pour the Coca-Cola over a piece of meat, how it devours the meat. So when you have those ingredients and you put them on to fight some, but you still sinning, all you're doing is just keep putting a Band-Aid over that, and you're gonna need Proactive the rest of your life. The only thing we should be using medicine for is to knock the initial bang of it out of the way and then try to get back on the standard deal. But we so sick, we start to take medicine as being the cure-all. And we start looking for that instead of looking for the law. You start looking up in the cabinet, where my pills at? Where my pills? I can't do without my pills. So it's the same sickness with all the rap artists. You know when you see the double styrofoam cups. You know what's in there. And they saying I'm sick, I gotta have my lean. But all they do is just keep you leaned over like this.
Right.
And that's what sick people do, they lean over. So they're calling what you enjoying sickness, lean.
Right.
That's what you do when you sick, ain't it? Don't you do this? What's the matter, man? I ate something I shouldn't have. I believe there was some pork in there. Because you know if you stand up, it's gonna be an explosion.
And that's the same thing with that, that's the same thing with that, the apple cider vinegar with the mother in it.
Yes.
As soon as somebody wake up, they think that that's the go-to medicine. You know what I'm saying? That's the go-to thing. Drink it every day. You can't drink apple cider vinegar every day. It's acid.
Right. You throw
It's
your
acid.
balance off.
Right. It'll mess you. Yeah, you know, damn. You damn been reading this stuff.
Right. The body has to be acidic, so to speak, but
Exactly.
even like when they give you the Pepsi AC or whatever, it's not turning the acid off, it's turning the acid on.
Exactly.
It makes your body think that you don't have enough acid to eat the food up that's in your stomach.
Right.
So it blocks something else, and that turns your acid up to a high pace, and it eats the food up. So you think the medicine took away the acid. No, it blocked another part of your body structure and made the acid turn on and flood your system.
Right.
Well, the problem with that, if you belch, that overflow of acid will.
Now you burning yourself.
Now you're gonna burn. Now you're like a battery with that acid running down the side of it. That's what starts to happen with your body over a period of time. But like bro saying, a lot of it is the Sabbath. That's why the Sabbath is so important. Is because if the body don't rest, it's gonna have viruses. Exactly. Like if you stay on your computer all the time and never shut it down, what is it gonna do? And if you get a big enough one, what does it do? Crash your computer and you can't get back on it. So they are copying the body structure when they make machines. So eventually they're gonna have you part man and part machine. But it's going to have to be medicine that you'll have to take every day for your body to accept the foreign substance of wires in your body.
Right.
You always have to tell something because your body, you are not made with outside parts like that. Even if you know, I'm saying, like, you know, black men beards are different because of the coarseness of their beard. If it grows out and it grows back in, then that's what infects you and you get that bump. And then you be squeezing that because now you got an outside entity growing back on the inside. And that's why we couldn't shave like we could, because as soon as the hair grow out, it grows back in and that makes you all bumped up in there. You get the same thing on the back of your neck, you know, you be looking like oatmeal on your neck. And
that's because we the most, that's because we the most alive people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We the most alive people. That's why we supposed to eat alive food.
Right.
Ain't short leg.
Yeah, so you know, it's what it is, y'all. It's a lot of outside things that go on that cause a problem with our body and itself, and most of it is coming from not keeping the Sabbath. Because the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. It was made for you so that you wouldn't work yourself to death.
Ain't this the fourth commandment?
Yeah, you can try to eat right, all that, but if you don't rest, you're gonna have problems. And like bro was saying, when you go to sleep at night, that's why our day started at night. 6 p.m. our day started so you could have your last meal and then you get into bed. And then visions and dreams come to you in that part of the beginning of the Sabbath. So you deal with supernatural things in your dreams. It tells you where you sick at. When people wake up, they know I had a vision. I got some problems. I need to go to the doctor. Those are revealed to you while you're sleeping the first 12 hours of the Sabbath, which starts at night. So you start the first 12 hours at night. And then you fast after you go to sleep. And you fast until that morning when you get up. And then you eat what's called break fast or breakfast.
And just and look,
you're breaking the nightly fast.
And we broke our fast around, we didn't eat in the morning. In the morning you're supposed to drink water. You're not supposed to wake up and stick stuff down your throat. In the morning you drink water. Water jump starts your organs and your glands and your glandular highway. We didn't eat until 10, 11 o'clock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you fast. And when you fast for these certain hours to get rid of the impurities in your bodies. And whenever you wanted to see a vision or dream when you're asleep, he told Daniel to do what? Fast. It's the reason why you stop eating at a certain time.
Right.
All the way until you wake up, for the Most High can speak to you while you sleep. It all makes sense.
Right.
Guess what? When they do tests on people with dreams and stuff, they don't make them eat. They can't eat for 3 days. Go get as much sleep as you can, and you better not eat nothing while you're sleeping, because you can't get certain visions while you're eating. And guess what? If you eat too much spices or you eat too much things when you go to sleep, then your dreams be all crazy and everything else.
It's like what he read about sickness. It's called colic. When children are sick and they just so sick, and the only thing you put is baking soda on their tongue to try to balance the acid out, you're saying they colic. They got colic. There's sickness inside. They got an imbalance of chemicals going on. Either you putting too much, like he said, maybe too much cow's milk in there. You know, it's a lot of things going on that's unbalanced. Gerber foods, you have to check all of that with the balance of what's going on with our people. You know, you have to understand that. And when they get colic like that, you have to write down everything I gave them when they got colic.
Right.
So the next time it happens, just look at the list. Yep, there it is. Gave it to them Thursday night. Dang. And you take that away. And then the sicknesses will start to drop off.
And he said chemical imbalance. Notice that. And look, a psychopath, or somebody have what you call have a bipolar disorder or dyslexia. All of these are called what? Chemical imbalance, which means sickness. It ain't nothing but another word for sickness.
Go down over there, shorty.
See, man. And all sicknesses mean is what? Melanated deficiency.
Right.
See how it all goes back to us, because everything started with us. Meaning that we the one who taught them sin, and they taught it back to us.
Right.
Evil came from us.
That's right.
Of course it came from Satan, but the first people that sinned on this earth was Negroes. And that's just what it is. Come on, bro.
Verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Most High bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Stop right there. We're going to stop right there. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus 15. Y'all got some understanding so far? Yeah. All praise. Go to Exodus 15. Start at verse 20, Hebrew.
Okay.
So what causes sickness?
Sin.
And what is sin? Yeah, I know that, but sickness. I see y'all got some, we got some Bible shooters out there though. But y'all was supposed to say sickness, you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be like, oh.
That's part of what causes spontaneous combustion.
Yeah. Yeah, then you got stuff like you got all this gastro disease. There's so many diseases, and if you actually get down to it, and you get down to the science part of it, it's all because of sin. Whether it's from sin that you did in the past or sin you're doing now. Everybody think, and it's a crazy thing, we think just because we stop sinning, that we still ain't got to face this law of karma. Whatever a man sow, he shall reap.
That's right.
Right.
Goes around, comes around. Just because you change now and used to be a gangbanger and you killed 10 people, that don't mean they homeboys. No, homeboys don't care if you changed or not. When they see you, it's still on and popping. You can be a renewed person and all that, showing that you still have to pay for your sins. You still have to pay for them. Regardless, whether it's in this realm or in the next realm, you're going to pay for your sins.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Shut up.
So we in Exodus.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 20.
My bad, y'all. I done totally neglected the computer.
Yeah, okay.
We in Exodus 15. Start at 20, bro.
Verse 20.
19.
Go to 19.
19.
Yeah, I'm putting it up now. My bad, y'all. It's up here now.
I'm moving your water bottle too.
Thank you, brother. I'm sure.
Sick.
Go to 15.
Sick, looking for that cure.
Right.
We all sick, to be honest with you.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 15. Somebody said 15? Huh? Or we're going to start at 19. 19. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, And the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand. And all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances.
You hear that? So whenever we won war, whenever we had a victory, us being melanated people, we did what? Because melanin is rhythm. What we do? We start dancing. Get the music going. We got tambourines. And notice all these instruments was for the pineal gland. That's where you get the word, y'all seen the baby rattling? Yeah. Well, that's an ancient toy. When the baby was 6 months, the Israelites used to get a baby's rattlings, because what it do is programmed and it's tuned to a certain vibrational frequency. It's the music note, high B, it's the sound Fox wave 6. And when you shake it, it actually stimulates your pineal gland and it opens your third eye. So that's what the baby's headed for. It makes them smarter. It gets them more connected with their surroundings and everything. Because remember, we alive people. So if you alive people and the trees are alive, the plants are alive, the food is alive, guess what you are connected to?
Life.
Life. Everything, earth. Look, the nature. So what else is live with a rotational axle like your pineal gland? The orbit of the sun, the orbit of the moon, the planets, the galaxies. Yahweh himself. So when you're at your healthiest mind state, when the so-called black man, which is the Israelite, is at his healthiest mind state, you're connected and you're synchronized with everything that's living. Everything. That's the opposite of being sick. That's the important thing about this. That's why health is so important. And all health is keeping the what?
Law.
Keeping the commandments. Come on.
Verse 21. And Miriam answered them, sing ye unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters. For Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah.
So now y'all know what Marah means, bitter water.
And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord. And the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the water, the waters were made sweet.
You hear that? So notice he used this tree. I guess what this tree symbolic? What is symbolic, class? The tree of what? Life. Because life brings what? Water brings what? Life. Even when you in your mother's womb, you inside of what? Water. That's why babies can come out, they can be 3 months and be straight swimming, backstroking and everything.
Right.
All they gotta do is put a baby in the water and they'll swim.
Right.
I would recommend y'all do that at home.
Right.
They swim from the womb. And they look, they know how to hold their breath and everything.
Right.
That is not taught to them.
For 9 months.
That's a beautiful thing. Come on.
There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments.
What?
Give ear to his commandments.
Give ear, that means Shema, that means to listen. That means you hear it and you do. You don't hear it and just be like, oh, okay. You hear it and you do. That's an action. To actually listen is an action like love is an action. Everybody think listen is just sit down and hear what somebody got to say. No, listen is when you hear it and then you act upon what you done heard. In Hebrew, that's called Shema. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. Come on.
And keep all his statutes. I will put none of these diseases upon thee.
You hear that? I won't put none. If you follow my law, you won't be diseased. And all disease means is sickness. Because if you're sick, your body is what? It's diseased. It's diseased now. Because you're sick.
Right.
Your melanin structures ain't structuring right.
Right.
The blood in your oxygen is not regulating right. You're not in synchronicity no more. Your rhythm is off. That's why brothers be saying, boy, that boy is what? Off. What we mean is he's off balance. He's sick. Come on.
which I have brought upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians.
Which I brought upon who?
The Egyptians.
So now we know that Egypt people are what? Sick.
Right.
They're sick. And he told us to get you stay away from sickness. Meaning stay away from who then? Egyptians. Huh? The definition of Egypt is what? Bondage. Sin is what? Bondage. We were sold unto what? Sin. But who brought us? Christ through his what? Blood. Life is in blood. Oxygen. We're going back to chemicals.
Yes.
It's a scientific book. Come on.
For I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees.
You hear that? Now go to palm trees. Why is it named palm trees? Why is a palm tree given to Christ when he came into Jerusalem on an ass? Now you see these things are representing what again? The tree of life. But it's the opposite tree that is you worship. You go to the lake of fire. Huh? When did he say, I remember your green trees amongst our hills? The Christmas tree. So the same thing, if you seek life from, you can also seek what through? Death. Balance.
Come on.
Come on.
And they encamped there by the waters.
All right, we can start right there. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 7, 12 through 16. Let me write that down too. I got y'all this one.
Chapter 12.
No, chapter 7, 12 through 16.
Okay.
I'm all like,
Right.
Y'all got any questions at all? Make sure y'all raise your hand.
Gonna come back to palm tree.
You got it.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12.
You're going to read to 16, Hebrew. 12 to 16.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy father.
You hear that? That he swore unto thy fathers. So with no sin, the promise still remains. But with sin, there is no covenant. You don't partake in the covenant. You don't partake in the healing of the nation. You're not healed. You're still sick. Huh? So that's death. Then what they do, you get spiritually cremated. You're going straight to the lake of the fire. You don't partake in the covenant and the promise. You chose to stay sick. When the medicine was in your face, the cure was there the whole time. But you have such an illness or a mental sickness that you rather take death than life. Ain't that called a sickness?
Yes.
That is crazy. That's like holding a scorpion and it just keeps stinging you and keeps stinging you, but you still hold it. Ain't that a sickness?
Yeah.
The hold a scorpion, just let it keep biting you and stinging you. And all you gotta do is let it go. That's a sickness. That's a mental illness. That's what you really call being mentally challenged. That's a retard.
Right.
That is. We looking at everybody else and naming that. We need to name this. We need to find some names for this. Oh, they got it. Bipolar. Psychopaths. There's so many names for this. What's up, bro?
So you got to be healthy in order to get the keys to the kingdom.
Most definitely. But see, this is the thing though. Healthy is a mind state. Once your mind is, all healthy means is keeping the commandments.
Right.
Proverbs 3. He said the word is what? Keeps this life into thy bones. Meaning if you keep the word, you are healthy.
Right.
Everybody want to work out all the time and all. Look, do you know building, if you actually get scientific, right? We speaking on science, the more muscle you have, you're becoming fat again. Only difference between a bodybuilder and a fat person is they have fat, but they're still heavy. Which means what? That their organs got to work much harder to keep up with their blood because they have weight on them that's not required. Same thing with a bodybuilder. They're just, they look like they're together, but they're still what? Too heavy. So what? Their organs got to work just as hard as the fat person. When you're you didn't read about nobody in the Bible working out. I mean, look, don't get. I work out all the time. But when you start getting into gym and gymnasium, that goes back to Greek custom. That's what the gladiators and them did. They lifted weights and all of that. You gotta look. Most High said he don't find pleasure in the legs of a man. So we taking healthy and we put it physical when it's actually spiritual. Our people was healthy in mind state and they worked. So if you eat good, you follow commandments, and you work every day and you rest on the Sabbath, guess what your body gonna look like? Like a person that's been working out for 10 years. What's up, big brother?
And that's the point where the mind heals the body.
Yeah, if it don't mind doesn't matter. The mind always heals the body. Look, this doctor, I was looking up on YouTube. This doctor told this one person he had cancer. He was like, I didn't tell you nothing. I just convinced you that you can heal yourself. He healed himself. Didn't take nothing. And all he did is stop eating. And he said, look, I didn't heal you. I just convinced you that you can heal yourself.
Placebo pill.
Huh?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's how powerful your mind is.
Right.
That's how powerful your mind is. The bigger the faith, the bigger the what?
Miracle.
Miracle.
That's right.
That's scripture too. See how it's a scientific book.
So once again, so if a person new on the wall and their body all jacked up, but they start following the laws and commandments,
yes,
they more likely get into the kingdom.
it ain't no, more like, let's say this, they will get healthy and spiritually in tune. We'll say that. Because the only person that's getting into the kingdom is the ones that the Most High left. Because you can put the thing, same, you can put in all this work. That's why Dan in the class said, accept your righteousness and see the righteousness of the Pharisees. The Pharisees had righteousness in them. You know what I'm saying? But all of it was in work. But faith without works is dead. What grants you the kingdom is keeping the commandments. But what seals it is your faith in Yahweh.
That's right.
That's what gets you the kingdom. Christ. That's the key to the kingdom. So you can be healthy all you want. You know what I'm saying? You can be doing your spiritual rituals and doing all this stuff, but that don't mean jack if you don't have faith in Christ, because he is pure knowledge. He is the key to the kingdom. He is the cure. Because there's a lot of so-called righteous brothers that's Old Testament Hebrew. Don't believe in the Messiah at all.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, Hebrew.
And he,
please hit 12 again, Elder.
verse 12.
Please.
Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy.
And the what?
And the mercy.
The what?
The mercy.
And the mercy. Y'all know what mercy is? I could have put sickness on them, but you know what?
Right.
I ain't gonna put them on it this time.
That's the mercy.
His blood sugar gonna be right this time. It ain't gonna be too high. It's gonna be a little gluten in there, boosted acid right there. It ain't gonna be too high. Instead of heart attack and stroke, I'm just gonna give them real bad acid reflux when you think you're having a heart attack and you can call a mummy and get it together.
Right.
Yeah, that acid reflux, how you thinking you're on your way out?
You sure will.
I'm telling you, you be confessing all your sins and changing your life around.
Right, and why you start confessing sin?
But that's mercy. I'd rather have acid reflux than a real heart attack. Because the more life you have in your body, the more oxygen you have in your blood, the more your melanin and your molecules in your body is actually liquefied, the longer you can live. Now, I'm not saying if you don't go outside, you probably, you know what I'm saying, like we all die of crazy deaths, getting hit by buses and stuff, but I'm saying if none of that exists and you are actually healthy, following these commandments and the dietary law, that's how we live so long. That's how people was living to be 800 years old. The earth wasn't polluted. We wouldn't smell. Look, they done messed up the oxygen, the food, all the processed food. Most of the things you eat in plastic, your body can't break nothing down. Right. And all of this came from the actual white man. I mean, I know it's under a curse, but they don't want making these things. And all this excessive meat, it's plenty of scriptures in the Bible that tell you can't eat excessive meat. It's plenty of scripture that says that. You cannot eat excessive meat. You know what excessive meat is? You got chicken on every meal plate of the day. Chicken with every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your midnight snack. Y'all know what that much meat do? It gets up in your intestines and it turns to what? Mucus. Then it gets compact because what your acid is trying to do is trying to break it down, but you got so much mucus around the meat that's in your colon, it's not even being broken down. So now it's turned into a crystallized mucus. That's why when you use it, you get rid of logs. Your boo-boo ain't even supposed to look like that. You get rid of logs because all this stuff is unhealthy in your intestines. So look, this is where you get the term from, fold your legs and cross your legs. They call it the gentleman's sit. Because what the white man did was, they crossed their legs because all they carnivores, all they like is meat. Meat, blood, medium rare. Give me with the blood in it. They had so much stuff in their colon that it offsetted them. So what they did was they sat on their tailbone and they basically balanced the weight for their butts wouldn't hurt. So they start crossing their legs. That's where it comes from, to get the weight off. For real. I'm telling you, everything they do and everything they train you to do is for their benefit. I'm talking about the clothes you wear. Like, why are we wearing turtlenecks and button-up stuff, and why do I gotta wear something that ain't nothing supposed to be this tight on your skin. You know that mess with your blood flow in your arms? Why do they wear that? Loosen the skin. Yes, we wear clothes that was loose, because we wear electrifying clothes, because black people were full of electricity. That's why Dan was walking on the carpet and shot himself. Because you have electric in your body. We are
right.
You know you can put your charger inside an actual pineapple and charge your phone. It's called electro food, electro cells. It's called cell food. Why is it called a cell food? Because it's living. So check this out. If your body is type A and this food right here is type B, why are you eating it? What is it doing for you? So how are you going to digest it? That's what pork is. It's type B. You know what pork do? It cuts off your electrical current, your circulation to the Father. That's why whenever they went and they sacked Jerusalem, what they do? First thing they always do is make you eat pork and pour the blood upon the altar. First thing, let's find a temple and let's put pig blood everywhere. This is what's going to stop the electrical current through the Most High. Because look, everybody don't know this about lightning, right? When lightning strikes from the ground up. Meaning all the electrical components is where? On earth. All the precious metals, all the anatomy, the autonomy is here on earth. That's why I said earth been here since the beginning too. It will never be moved. That's why the kingdom is coming where? To earth. To earth. And we gonna run earth. This is where all the precious metals is that's in your body. Guess what earth has? Copper. Who else has copper in their body? Only the black man. Only the black man.
They selling it.
They selling it.
They know.
What you think it mean when it said he had a skin of brass? What is brass? Brass is copper. So what do copper do? What do copper do? It exchanges electricity, which keep us connected to one another. What do you think love is? What do y'all think love is? Love means to be one, be connected. That's love. But guess what throws off this vibration? The food you eat, what you drink, and how you think. That's so a man thinketh what? So he is. If all you thinking about is sickness, guess what you are? You sick. You walk in death. You see how the Bible scientific? Scientific book. Come on.
Which he swore unto thy fathers, and he will love thee, and bless thee, and multiply thee.
And what?
And multiply thee.
And multiply these. And multiply these. That's why he told them to go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. Okay, well, let's talk about sperm. Let's go scientific again. So a sperm, look this up, y'all. A sperm is nothing but the brain connected to the vertebrae. It's a big old head on it with a string. That string is your actual vertebrae. That is your spinal cord. The brain is connected to it. At the top of the brain is a stem cell. What sits on top of the stem cell is called the pineal gland. So the first thing to send your messages is your pineal gland. Well, inside this pineal gland secrete black dots or black matter called melanin, which is carbon. If you actually look at a sperm, it's a black dot inside sperm. So when sperm actually gets in, right, when it gets into the cavity, it finds the egg and it attached to it. They say a lot of sperms go in once and it didn't make it. That's not true. It is planned and precision. You got pregnant when God told you to get pregnant. It was already predestined before the beginning of time. And it's all off of that melanin dot. Look this stuff up. These are stuff the doctors will not tell you because you're going to find out that you are a direct descendant of God. What it is. We're made up with everything the universe is made up of. And the universe has universal laws, meaning you have what? Laws. And the moment you stop following them, it causes disorder and unbalance. When things are unbalanced, mucus build up. When mucus build up, now you are sick. It's a sickness. And we all just like running around being sick with no cure. When the cure is when what we read every day. That makes us the biggest hypocrites on planet Earth. You know the cure, you know how to do the cure, but you can't do it. You know how weak-minded that is? That means your mind is weak. Maybe because you're not getting enough nutrients or whatever. I don't know. You know, we're sick people. We need to be healed. And the only way we can be healed is through Christ Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
That's it. He is our cure. No 12-step program. You don't have to take this one at 3 and 4 and take this one the next morning. And take this with food. If you don't, you're going to have nauseated and you probably poop on yourself. There ain't none of that. Ain't none of that involved. Come on, Hebrew.
He will also bless the fruit of thy womb.
You hear that? So he will bless the fruit of this womb. Now his semen is strong. Now when you're not shooting blanks anymore. That's what, when they say a man shooting blanks, when he's shooting off, that little black melanin dot is not in the sperm cells no more. Meaning it can't procreate life. Because melanin is life.
Blank, son, boy.
Huh? So look, you want to stop shooting blanks? Stop sending. This is saying, look, for real, everything I'm saying, look this stuff up, it'll blow your mind. I will not lie to y'all. Look this, it will blow your mind. How much of that, look, that, you really start understanding when he said, let us make man in our image. I'm talking about everything that he is composed of, he gave it to us. That's love. You know what love is? When you have $2 million and you give somebody $1 million, not give them $50,000. You hit the lottery, you give it half, and that's what he gave us. He gave us half of him. Half of him. We got eternity. We have a third eye. He is the all-seeing eye. We have that same eye. He gave us intelligence, connections. He gave us the ability to do miracles, to heal ourselves, everything, to even procreate. That's what God do. God's created. We can actually lay down and create life. Do y'all know? Look, guess who's not procreating like that? The white man. They're actually dying more than they reproducing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's for real. For real. They're dying more than they reproduce. Why is that? Because they're lifeless. We have, the life is in us. That's why it says through what? Through the Jews, the Gentiles can be saved. They got to come through us. They got to come through our system. They got to come through our science. They got to come through our beliefs. Come on, bro.
And the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, the increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle.
You hear that? Look, we're going to be blessed amongst all people. The fathers is not shooting blanks. Ain't no woman going to be barren. Everybody going to be reproducing because you in a healthy mind state. They say the more alcohol the so-called black men consume, it's the less chances of him having babies. You know what alcohol do? It damages your liver. Well, guess what filters your prostate? Your liver. Guess what filters your liver? Your kidneys. So that's why I say don't be an over-excessive drinker. Because if you drink a little strong wine, which is like Hennessy's or any of your cognacs, your brandies, they actually do good things to your liver. Like Coke said, and help kick off the cleansing process. But once you do too much of it, it damages. Same thing as vinegar. So you see, the Bible is all about health. The Bible is all about race. The Bible is all about your molecular structure. The Bible is all about autonomy. The Bible is all about science. The Bible is about everything that you want it to be about. Because it's a living book, and you are a living people. So you should be eating living food and following live commandments. Why is you following dead commandments? You know what a dead commandment is? When you cut a living tree out and build an idol. Now you're serving the idol. That's a sickness. Makes no sense. Why are you worshiping the creation? The creation deteriorates just like you. You know what trees do? They die. They die. You know what you do? You die. Why would I worship you and you gonna die like me? Don't even make sense.
Right.
Stars, they die. The sun is dying. Things die. Didn't he say it won't be no sun?
Yeah.
Christ gonna be the true light? Look at this up right now. The sun is actually dying as we speak. Can't make this stuff up. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Verse 15. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness.
Take away what?
All sickness.
Meaning that we're in a sick state. The Lord said he's going to take it away if we do what? Keep his commandments. Follow the words that he gave us. Come on.
And will put none of the evil diseases.
None of the who?
Evil diseases.
Look, so look, he said evil disease. Meaning there is dis-ease, but then there's something called an evil dis-ease. And if y'all want to see what an evil dis-ease is, go to that book of Joshua and look up what he did to the Egyptians. I'm talking about, man, blasting, mildew, all kinds of crazy stuff. Huh? Come on.
Evil diseases of Egypt.
Of who?
Of Egypt.
Y'all see how every time you see Egypt, what's attached to? Sickness. Sickness. Sickness is bondage, because sickness is sin. And sin is bondage when you give yourself into it. Whenever you bow down to something, it becomes your master. That's how sin becomes a master of you. You're indebted to sin. You're indebted to sickness. Come on, you ready?
Which thou knowest upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee.
Come on, let's go to Proverbs. Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3. $3:36 already. We're going to do a sit down on this.
Yeah.
I'm not even halfway through.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
Just maneuver to your killer point. Yeah. And y'all, a lot of times we see the law, and we see some things that may be happening in the law, like you're talking about. How is it incest for Leviticus 18 if you go to your brother or sister, but it's not for Abraham and Sarah, who he called my sister? What makes that separate? What causes a difference? And what is the difference, you know, with Adam and Eve, with them having sons and daughters, and them be able to procreate, and it not be a violation of Leviticus 11?
Exactly.
You know, not Leviticus 11, but Leviticus 18 and 20, of be not like the Canaanites and all of their offspring. What makes the difference? What allows that what you may think is incest, but it's saying here, and it's everything he's been saying, because they didn't have no children, or they didn't do anything till Abraham was 10 years older than Sarah, and he had been knowing her since he was 40 or so. They came from his father's house, so it was technically his niece. So in the long run, what happened is, by them not having children and continuing in righteousness, and Abraham's name was changed, he was renewed, like bro is saying. So he got that dot back.
Exactly.
And then he was able to procreate and start a nation. But he had to go through a complete cleansing process over a 90-year period to get that dot back, so to speak. So, and that allowed him to build a nation, just like when we came through the flood. That allowed them 3 sons to start building again, because the whole chemical, the anatomy was made new. Exactly. That's what happened when you are saved. You're made new again, and your name changed. Same thing with Joseph in Egypt. His name was changed, and he rebuilt. That technically he was the father rebuilding the nation of Israel within Egypt.
How was he saying name change? He means to what? Cross
over. So once your name is changed, that's why when we cross over, he said in Revelation 21, I'll give you your new name written on a stone that no man know but you. And you're going to put it in your hand, and you're going to see what you call. He said, they called you this back in the day, but this is what I call you. Servant such and such. See, Abraham's name was changed. Abraham's name was Abram. And it was changed to Abraham, meaning father of many nations. That's why he said, my servant Abraham, the one whose name been changed.
Exactly.
Jacob's name was changed to Israel, meaning prince, with the father. So his name was changed, and there's always a pillar there. That's like in the Mount of Transfiguration in Matthew 17, when he took the 3 brothers up with him, and they talked to Moses and Elijah. First thing Peter asked, should we make 3 pillars? Should we make names for them? He's like, no. You don't make no name for them in the kingdom of Most High. The only one get a name in the pillar who is the Messiah. Hear him. You know, we can't worship Peter and Moses. They don't get that stone. They don't get to make pillars for them there. So everybody on earth that made a pillar, they made it to our God. Jacob, Abraham, all of them, they built an altar to our God. So that would be a common practice for us to make pillars for righteousness when a name change happens. So when a name change happens, y'all, that's when you know somebody has been what we call saved, either through the fiery furnace or from the lake of fire. Exactly. But the people today in Sunday doctrine say, I'm saved, and they still sick. How are you? What are you saved from? You know, what do you think you saved from? How are you saved now when you just said we don't have to take the medicine? He threw the medicine away when he nailed it to the cross. We don't have to take medicine no more. You ain't heard? We can eat all of the stuff that's killing us. Why would he get on the cross if you doing what you was already doing? I mean, how did he make a way? So he made a way for you to eat what you were told not to eat. Y'all, that's a sickness.
You know, it's a sickness because it don't make sense.
Right. Go ahead, sis.
Brother Daniel, speaking on it, you know how Abraham and Sarah was able to, even though they was relatives, close relatives, but then they were changed. You said their names were changed, which changed their condition where they were able to procreate. Could you
cleanse the cells completely? That's a miracle.
Not like relatives anymore?
Well, it puts them back to rebuilding or starting the nation all over again. It's like Adam and Eve. You only read about Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. So where are the women? They didn't get with their mama. But you read that Adam had 60 sons and daughters. So at the beginning, they were able to procreate together. Cain didn't find his wife in the land of Enoch. He took her there. It said he knew her there. He just had intercourse with her there. In that city. That was his twin sister. They were born with twins because that was part of the curse of Eve. Multiple conception. That was part of the curse, 20. So that hurry up and built the race up real quick. The nation up.
Okay back up?
What?
But, I mean, that was okay.
Well, if you only got 3 people left on earth, how are you going to continue to procreate?
So it was okay what Lot and his Lot of descendants?
No, they did it differently. That was under their deceit because they said, let's get them drunk. And then we'll have our way with them.
But weren't they afraid that they were only 3 still alive because all the towns around them had got burnt down along with Solomon?
Well, that's what they used to justify getting him drunk. If that was the truth, they never would have. They would have just said, let's go the way of our fathers. But it ain't never, ever been permitted. Father on daughter, mother on son. See, that ain't never been permitted. Ever. Not Adam didn't sleep with his daughters. Never. No father ever slept with his daughters. No mother ever slept with her sons.
It was just the sisters and brothers.
It was sisters and brothers.
But and that was under certain stipulations.
Right, and that's why in the kingdom, if you're the resurrected dead, your wife that you may have had in your prior life, she'll be your sister. She won't be your wife. She'll be like your sister. You'll be like brother and sister. And then we got our father, and we got our structure there, and we'll become children again. Now, those who are alive and remain will procreate Israel like it should have been in the garden before they sinned. There have to be children produced in righteousness. None of our children has ever been produced in righteousness because it started off in sin. Listen to the wrong doctrine. Let the wrong filter come through there, and it spoiled her filter. And then that's where we got to go to Christ, clean it up. Christ, his father, put the dot back in Mary, so to speak, through the Holy Spirit. It couldn't have never been Joseph. The dot was gone from him to make the skin not corrupt anymore. So if we're not understanding it from that perspective, the only time you'll see closeness with that is the rebuilding of society. But it's been washed clean. Everything has been washed clean. So sin has been eradicated from the earth. If you make it across salvation, say, your sins will I what? Remember no more. So whenever a saving process happens, your sins are remembered no more. But guess who's always there as soon as that process happens? Satan. Right after they got off the ark, right after he went up to Mount Sinai, he came down. While he was up there, coming through the Red Sea, all of that salvation, which we could have became a great and powerful nation then. We wouldn't even have to pretty much wait on what we waiting on if we had just done it then. we would have been okay. But soon as he was up there getting the Lord said, I can't believe this.
These niggas down there pouring.
Back down there again, defiling the bloodstream.
And look, that's what we was going into, and that's what I want to go over. That's the first commandment, because I actually want to go through the commandments and show y'all how we actually started becoming into this sickness. And it breaks down and get real deep and it's real mental and it's crazy. Like, we really have a sickness.
Right.
People really have a sickness that needs to be talked about and needs to be reversed. But the only way we can reverse it is by keeping the commandments.
Right.
That's it. So let's get this proper. We're gonna do a couple more. We're gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna do a sit down on it because class, you know y'all get to ask some questions in the beginning, they gotta get answers. So we do a sit down though.
Yeah, and we just started a little late today, y'all. We apologize for that. Real late. I got moving late, so bro could have been at least 2/3 of the way, you know, through this by now. So, but they'll do a sit down and they'll go over everything again. We're saying he just gonna summarize it now to the end. What the matter, Boopy?
You agreeing to a sit down? You going to sit down?
Yeah, he gonna do another class, y'all. He'll name it out there. Y'all see it. And y'all can sit down and go over everything that he's going over then, but it's just for time's sake, because we run out a little bit of time, y'all. We want to keep going. And also for some of y'all that know, we are everything like y'all used to see the feast table over here is now over there on the other side. So, well, go ahead, bro. You want to continue?
All right, brother.
Go ahead.
Where do we get those sit downs? Is that
Honor and humility.
Yeah, you'll see Mally doing a series right now.
Bruh, don't put them on your
You know, yeah. Mally's doing a series now, and also brother Tavi does God's Warrior 298. So there's always a backup of the backup. So you know, if one drop off, we got another one, you know, backing up that one. So we never able to lose, y'all. It's without excuse. You know, and what bro and them do, y'all, if y'all understand, he does the scientific part of our study. Everybody has their own gift, and he just gets into the health system, y'all, because look, when the scripts say know thyself, when you go to the doctor, he don't just start telling, he asks you, tell me about yourself. Yeah. The problem is you're not there to tell about yourself because you don't want to hear stop this. You like, where them pills at? Where them pills? And he said, before I get the pills, I got to make sure I give you the diet. You have to take that in your hand or you can sue me. So you always bring that home with your prescription. But where does that go? File 13. And you digging in that bag, and that is Vicodin. Yeah. Get that gin up there for me, baby. I feel better already. No, you don't feel better. All it did was satisfy that bondage that was in you. And it settled it down. That's all it did. But once it go again, you're going to be right back at it, whatever it may be. So the doctor always asks me, tell me about yourself. Well, what makes your foot hurt? You know, every time I eat cashews, that's the problem. Well, stop eating cashews. You know, so you telling him, but if you don't tell him, now you're saying, I'm a guinea pig for you. And then he starts suggesting things. Well, try this Prylex. You know, tell me how that worked for you in 3 days. You come back, that didn't do nothing. That just made me itch in public. You know, well, try this. So he just keep having you try stuff. Yo, it's actually a place that'll pay you $1,800 a weekend to be a test dummy for medication. You got to fast before you come there, and they just continue to give you different medications to try to see how it works on you. So you can't be a guinea pig of your own self because you can't blame the doctor. The doctor told you what the problem with. It's the intake of food.
Yes. And most of your sickness is caused by you breaking the dietary law.
Right. Say that again, bro.
Most of your sickness is, look, no bull. 97% of your sickness is by y'all breaking the dietary law.
Yeah.
The rest of the three are actual real sins being committed, but most of it's from what you put in your mouth.
Right.
You are what you eat. Whatever you eat goes straight to your brain. It's all about what we put in our throats. Because what you eat goes to your brain. If you eat healthy, you think positive. If you eat all sluggish and like obese, you think like a fat person. You think like somebody with obese. Like it's actually spirits attached to your food. But you have good spirits in your food. Why do you think they call wines and liquors what? Wines and spirits.
Yeah.
Same thing with a pineapple. A pineapple have a positivity vibrational rhythm to it. It vibrates. You can actually go and test it. It has a vibrational frequency. We vibrate to the frequency of music B, of music note B. It's a high B tone. It's a high B. That's why when you sing in high B, a lot of people get sucked. David knew. That's why he played his harp in the high B tone to smooth the what? The savage beats. You know what I'm saying? Same thing about the walls of Jericho. What blew down the walls of Jericho? A trumpet, a horn, vibration. Same thing with the baby rattle. All of these are for pineal gland stimulation. Your pineal gland is connected to your spirituality. That's what gives you spirituality. That's what gives it. It's your third eye. You do not have a spirituality, or you can't see in a spiritual realm with your physical eyes. You have a pineal gland. If your pineal gland and your melanin is damaged, guess what? You ain't seeing or talking to no spirit.
And if you are, it'll be the devil. Because if you load up on Italian sausages and you eat like a glutton and then you lay down, not only is acid reflex rushing up onto you, now you're having bad vision.
And then, what do they call the drug that mess with the DMT in your mind? They call it acid. He was on what? Acid. That's why when you go to sleep with all them spices and the acid mess with you, you have the most craziest dreams. You got your head blown off. You be like, it's some crazy stuff.
Wake up sweating, you know.
What you eat affects your brain.
And how much you eat. Y'all look, while you fasting at night in your sleep, things as energy, the rest is getting rid of. The problem is it's not getting rid of as much as it should, because you're eating too much. You got to get rid of as much as your body don't need. So you have to keep a balance. You have to eat enough of amount to keep the same balance. If you it's 6'5", I'm not eating the same thing. So 8 glasses of water ain't gonna work for me. 8 glasses of water kill me versus what it'll do for a 6'5" guy, because too much water, you can get what's called water intoxication, and you flush all of your nutrients out. You know, so too much water is bad too. You gotta have a just balance for your body, and your body will tell you this is the right point for that, and you have to make notations of that. I can only have this much. I'll suffer from a little gout. 1 helping of lima beans, I love them. But 2, I'm gonna get you sucker foot. No shoe can't be put on, limping around, and nobody but to blame but it's me, because I know what 2 helpings will do. It's high in what's called purine, which is builds uric acid up, which then you have a problem flushing out of your body unless you douse with water continually. But you got to get a balance of you. You have to know you better than the doctor. You have to tell the doctor what's going on with you. And then he'll prescribe the right medicine to get it back in sync, not to hook you on it, but just to get you over the hump, till you get back on your right path and letting your body control itself. If every day you saying, I got to go get my medicine this month, your body is running off of pharmacia. Now, some of us may have damaged our bodies, and we may need that pharmacia, but they still saying the same thing. Stop putting such and such in your body, and you'll watch the medicine start to dwindle down. Instead of a bag full, you're down to 1. And eventually that 1 gonna be down to such and such. That's why they say come back in 6 months after you take the medicine with the diet. The part is we keep the medicine and we keep on eating what we used to do. The Bible calls in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, he said, this shall be food for you. This other thing is not food. A pig is not food. You can eat it like food, but it doesn't do what he ascribed that food would do for your health. So just like you can pour 200 proof moonshine in a car, it'll fire up. But you'll run like this. Because it's not gasoline. It's moonshine.
So cow's milk is not milk for you.
That's right.
Cow's milk is milk for a baby cow.
Right.
Milk of almonds, soy. There's so many plants that produces milk. You can make your own milk.
What about cheese?
Right, and they get that right there.
Another thing plus.
Well, after you get a certain age, because milk from a goat, they were drinking. But it was a certain age you had to be before you could start to drink it. And because we'll read through all out here, and he had goat's milk for enough. The Proverbs, you got to have enough goat milk for all their family, you know. So a lot of times these things were drinking, but they were only drinking as a delight or a treat, so to speak, but not for nourishment, not to bring a baby up upon, you know, because of all the stuff it did when the cells are building. That's the deal. When they building blocks, you can't build it into mucus. You know, you have to let them go off of breast milk a while, you know, and then that's called being weaned from the what? From the breast. 1 year old, then they can start doing things. Now, there's good things you can't even give to a baby. You can't give a baby honey. But honey is everlasting. Honey is the only food source on earth that never spoils. If it's 10,000 years old, you dip your finger in, it's going to taste like the first day of putting in the jar. That's the only substance. That's why it talks about milk and honey. Milk when you're a youth, and honey for everlasting life. So you have to understand why I keep using the two interchangeable. Honey is good forever, just like everlasting life is good forever. So once you get off the milk, what you got to get on? Everlasting. So in that manner, but what bro is telling you is, if you don't know yourself, if you don't know your chemical balance, you're going to have a bag of medicine.
And the reason why you don't know it is because of sin.
Right.
He took you out of the land of knowing. Now we got to regain our knowledge back. But the only way you can regain this knowledge back is through the knowledgeable one. And our master teacher is who? The Holy Spirit.
That's right.
His attribute is a part of who? Christ. So it all goes back to the Son of God.
That's right. It's like praying over pork.
Right.
You can't pray over something that's going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? It's no, to use that, that's why they twist the scriptures so to say it's okay. God created everything to be good. He did create everything to be good. Look, y'all, this a test. Why is badger skin on the Ark of the Covenant?
Right.
Badger is from the weasel. Weasel is in the dietary law not to touch. But it says touch not its carcass for food. So, but as far as shoes, because y'all think because we like to wear dangerous animals, that this just started with us? Snakes, lizards, gators. We wore badger skin sandals, Ezekiel 16 and 23.
Because them things was endurable.
They were waterproof. So they were good to wear on the feet. So y'all, we ain't just started wearing dangerous animals. We always been wearing them. Yeah, so y'all, in that manner, badger skin covered the ark because of its waterproof capabilities and its power to protect the outer set. When a cobra bites a badger, he just shake it off. The poison don't work on it. But you can't eat badger meat. So be careful if somebody is saying, you know, see, they shouldn't even be playing football. Ain't that made out of pig skin? Or they eating the football?
Right. Mental midgets.
Yeah, mental midgets, absolutely, bro. So y'all get an understanding. It never said, it said touch his carcass for food. Never about touch his carcass for as far as protection or whatever it is. But the pork was made, yes, it was created good to clean all the toxins off of planet Earth. Eat all the doo-doo up and filth that you throw out to them. He eat it all up and then it dies.
Same thing as cockroaches.
Cockroach,
shrimp,
same thing.
Lobster, crab. They trash cans of the earth and the sea.
Yeah.
You don't eat trash cans.
Right.
And they clean the earth, but you can eat the stuff that's eating the green things. They clean off the pestilence.
Right.
For your herbs and for your foods, and your meat won't be tainted. Right. You eating the stuff that's clean and everything.
Right. Right. You ain't showing off your fish tank or the algae eaters, are you?
Right.
You point out them pretty blue and yellow ones. See, and that's a cichlid. And that can't see. I got these all the way, man. These pretty saltwater. But them algae eaters, what are those over there? Oh, them the doo-doo eaters. But you go to Red Lobster and order a whole plate of doo-doo eaters.
And then be wondering why they stink. They full of poop. They full of poop.
So y'all, what we take in, y'all, and bros, you know, when they sit down and do this, y'all, and get into detail, and a lot of y'all, he'll sound like Paul to y'all, because y'all say, pew, it went over there. But as he goes on, he opens it up and he brings it right back down to it. Right. It just has to grab your attention first, right, of how important your chemical makeup is in your body. If you don't know this, can't nobody else know it. We have to guess. Look, when you tell somebody something, ain't we guessing? Man, my foot was hurting yesterday. Did you step off a curb? No. Was you driving too long? No. Did you take your medicine? No. Or whatever it may be. Did you eat what caused your foot to swell up last time? Yeah, and more in abundance. Y'all, we know what's killing us. Just like we know we breaking laws. Everybody that eat pork, the doctor done already told. So when you go to them with the dietary law, the problem is they believe the creature more than the creator. They believe what the doctor say. Well, he said I can cut back on everything, but I just told him, doctor, now look here, you may be right about that, but I ain't giving up my bacon. And guess when you want to eat bacon the most? Coming off of the what? The fast. And destroy the temple again that's been made clean with the whole meat again.
Yep.
Right after the fast.
And he's going to scramble it up with chicken feeders.
Yeah.
Call your eggs.
Call you what?
Your eggs.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this. This is the benefits of a fast out of the Apocalypse of Elijah in the Pseudepigraphy. Remember that from the time when he created the heavens, the Lord created the fast for a benefit to men on account of the passions and desires which fight against you, so that evil will not inflame you. But it is a pure fast.
Yeah, a pure fast. So fasting is made for evil won't inflame you. So the best way to keep off evil is by fasting, and fasting is not separate from prayer. They hand in hand.
Go together. It's going to read that. But it is a pure fast, which I have created, said the Lord. The one who fasts continually will not sin, although jealousy and strife are within him. Let the pure one fast. But whenever the one who fasts is not pure, he has angered the Most High and also the angels. And he is grieved he has grieved his soul. Gather up wrath for himself for the day of wrath. But a pure fast is what I created, with a pure heart and pure hands. It releases sin.
Do what?
It releases sin.
That's why as soon as you go to the doctor, you got all this stuff in your sin and your sickness, they say, don't eat.
Right.
Don't eat. Stop your diet. Change your diet. Don't eat for a while.
Right.
Before you come in for your exam, don't eat for 24 hours.
Right.
Drink no water.
After this hour. Right.
They put it together. Same thing with a fast is. Fast is just not eating it. It's not eating or drinking. Can't nothing pleasurable touch your tongue at all. The doctors show you this all the time. It's going to be without excuse. I'm telling you.
Y'all, the problem is we trust in the doctor more than we should, the creator. Because all you're looking for him for is to tell me how I can stay in good grace with God and sin at the same time.
Yep.
Right.
Look, so you saying cut back on the pork chops and the hog maws and the pig ears and the chitlins. Now, doctor, what about that bacon? And he says that too. Oh, now you done gone too far. What I'm paying you for? So y'all, that's how sick the mental becomes when it thinks the body needs something that the body is rejecting. Everybody that still eat pork right now feel that head swimming after they done had a good portion of it. But they say it tasted so good going down. Those were...
You see, that first sin, that first breaking of the commandment goes back to Egypt. Then you get into the third one, which is to use thy name in vain. Where did we first really use his name in vain? In Egypt. Then you go to the fourth one. And Ramsey, the one who told us don't keep the Sabbath. Remember, if you go to Jasher, Moses had to go ask, and then he finally granted him the time for we can start keeping our Sabbaths in Egypt.
Right.
That was in Egypt. Honor thy mother and thy father. That's the fifth commandment. I mean, that's the fifth commandment. So how is it that you go into the Egyptian worship, they talk about how the son had sex with his mother, which is totally dishonoring his mother to even be born. You know what I'm saying? Everything that they do and everything a part of their religion is to get you to break yours. And remember, we was in Egypt and around Africa for 1,600 years before we even left there. So when we was in there, we took on all that sickness. That's why whenever you read about sickness, it's directly connected to who? Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Egypt means. So when you see the word bondage, it means way more than just you being in captivity. It's your mind being in captivity.
Right.
But being captive to sin. And sin produces sickness. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this Proverbs. We got 2 more scripts. We're gonna get up out of here. Let's get Proverbs 3. 1 through 8. Hey, that was Apocalypse of Elijah.
Yeah.
What you saying, bro? Yeah. Yeah. Right on, bro. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The baby pulled it down.
It's all good, sister. Bro, it was Apocalypse of Elijah what?
Chapter 1, like 15 through 22.
15 to 22.
Yeah. The benefits of a fast.
Dang. All right, let's get this
Proverbs.
Proverbs 3, 1 through 8.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. My son, forget not my law.
You hear that? So he start off with forget not my law. Come on.
But let thine heart keep my
It
commandments.
says let your mind keep your commandments. The sickness starts from the mind first, then it manifests in the physical.
Right.
Come on.
For length of days and long of life.
So if you keep the commandments, you have what? Length of days. You will grow old. Why are we living to be 70 and 60 now? Because we're not healthy. We're not keeping the law. Because if you keep the law, you will eat healthy. You will think healthy. Because this is all the law is telling you. The law is for you to live long. In the physical and when you transcend or when you die. Come on.
For length of days and long life and peace.
And what?
And peace.
So everybody that's sick, when you're sick, you're not at peace. You're at war. You're at war with yourself. That's why your killer T cell is fighting against your C cell.
Right.
That's called war. That's why your cells are mutating. They banging with each other. They start colonizing themselves. It's called separation. This weakens your immune system. That's war. So cancer is war inside your body. AIDS is war inside your body. Having a common cold is war inside your body. All these things are war, produced from what? Sickness. Sickness comes from what? Mucus. Mucus comes from what? Sin. All goes back to sin. Come on.
Shall they add to thee? Let not mercy and truth forsake thee.
Come on.
Bind them about thy
You
neck.
hear that? Put it around your neck like a necklace. So now y'all know what they used to put around our neck when we got off the slave ships, irons of yoke. It says replace that with mercy and truth. Come on.
Write them upon the table of thine heart.
Jeremiah 17:4 and 17:9 it says that our hearts are desperately wicked. You read Jeremiah 17, it says it was written on the tables of our heart. So now he's saying erase that sickness and write this cure on your heart.
Right.
Come on.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh and
You
man.
hear that? You get understanding because when you live healthy, now you can secrete. Your pineal gland can secrete more melanin. The more melanin your body produces, the smarter and intelligent you are. That's where you get he's a bright guy from. What your pineal do is, it reflects and gives light stimulation. The more light you see, it gets stimulation to your pineal gland. Only the black person can see the full color of anything. When we look at red, it's the reddest and purest it can be. If a white person look at red, he can't see red like you. We have something called a field sight, where I can put my hand behind my head and see it. I can feel it there. I can feel it. Y'all can too. This is things that we can do. When we hear speech and sound, we get the fullness of vibration. Because that's all speaking is a vibration. When you hear me speak, you can hear the full sound of what I'm saying. We're the only people that can do that. When we follow the command.
Right. Make sure you say that.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
Trust in the Most High with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding.
Don't lean to your own understanding. And what is leaning to your own understanding? What Dan was talking about earlier. You going to the doctor to get told something you already know. You already know what made your foot go this way. You already know why you got gas. You already know why your heart burning. Fix it yourself. Why you got to go to a man that don't know nothing about you to tell you something about you? He don't even know you. That's why you think he's studying you. You study something you don't what? No. Come on.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
Come on.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Most High, and depart from evil.
Depart from sin. Come on.
It shall be health to thy neighbor. Health to thy neighbor.
You hear that? It should be health to thy who?
Neighbor.
Where's your neighbor? In the middle of your stomach. That's your solar plex. That's where all enzymes are born in. You know what produces these things? mutants. He's teaching you how to be healthy in the spiritual and in the physical. But it starts with your mind. Come on.
It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones.
And marrow to thy bones. Y'all know what bone marrow is? That's what you call authentic blood.
That's the blood of the bone.
Yes, that's the blood inside the bone. That's what's really giving your body oxygen. That's where your strength comes from. And what's wrapped around this blood, this pure blood, is an actual synthetic blood. What's wrapped around this synthetic blood is actual called calcium buildup. And this makes your structure strong. So you see stuff like Iron Man and all of that. That's because Abraham and them was Iron Man. They was, because they was healthy. You see, what it say about Judah? Judah ran faster than a gazelle.
Right,
You start saying this stuff and you see us doing this in our everyday lives, it's because we are that people.
Right.
Now think about if we was that in our right mind state and we didn't have this mental illness. Then we will be gods in the flesh. We will be able to be called sons of Elohim.
Right.
What it say? What matter of love God bestowed upon us, that one day we might be called the sons of Elohim. And it's not appeared yet what we shall be. But we know that we're going to look like him when he was in his what? Glorified body. That's what we working towards. But you can't do that if you in heaven.
Right.
Spiritually.
Right.
Come on.
But you said the 8. You want to keep going?
Yeah, go down to 9.
Honor the Most High with thy substance and with thy first fruits of all thine increase.
All right, come on. We got one more. We're going to get in the Apocrypha. Let's get in the Apocrypha. This is the last scripture, y'all.
And y'all see why it always say upon thine increase? See, our God won't take nothing away from us that we need to sustain what he's given us orders for. He say always of thine increase. You got extra, give me some of the extra. You know, but whatever you don't, I don't need it, because what do I need to take from you for? You know, I gave you life. But if you get extra, return the favor. You know, give me the first out of that. Don't give me that 3-legged calf. Or that 2-legged cow, you know, or this one with a crooked ear is broke off. That's what you give to the Lord, and you're going to save all this over here. But you've been praying to him about the good flock. But yet you give him that. You know, a lot of times, y'all, we offer the firstling of everything. Israelites gave their sons to serve in the temple for their whole life. Israelites, you know, back in the day, when you had a child, you would offer up your child. You would give him back as service to God. Your firstborn. You take my only son. Lord, I'll give him back to you to serve you. You know, still your son, you know, but he's been given up for temple worship. You know, to serve the Most High. Non-stop. You know, they did daughters like that as well, y'all. But that's offering the first fruit of your increase. You know, go ahead, brother.
We in Sirach chapter 37, start at 12.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 12. But be continually with godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High.
So don't be around sick people. It's what gets you sick. When somebody got a common cold, what you do? Oh, no, you can't come over here. You ain't touching nothing they touch. You gonna wash your hands. They ain't passing no bottle. Huh? You got a cold.
My fault. Can you back it up to 11?
Oh, yeah, do that. Let's get it.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 11.
Start at 10.
I'm about to say that 10.
Verse 10. Consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee.
You hear that? So don't be consulting and telling your business to somebody that low-key want what you got.
Right.
Huh?
Or they suspect you anyway. How you gonna prove it?
Right.
You know, if you consulting with the police and he already suspect you did it,
Right.
don't do that.
You're gonna ask for a lawyer.
Right. Keep silent. I'm taking a fit.
Straight up. Come on with it.
Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous. Neither with a crowd, with a coward in matters of war.
You hear that? You better not consult with a coward matters of war. When war comes, he run.
Right.
What are you talking about war for? You're not a warrior.
That's his strategy.
Right. Right. How you gonna come to your woman and tell her about some other woman she said better not call her no more?
Right. Right.
You gonna tell her, look, I know you said Bertha can't call back here, but Bertha was saying the reason your hair looks like Pam on more than anybody is because you need to use this grease. Is there gonna be problems?
Come on with it.
Nor with the merchant concerning exchange,
Come on.
nor with a buyer of selling, nor with an envious man of thankfulness, nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness, nor with the slothful for any work, nor with an hireling nor with a hireling for a year of finishing work, nor with an idle servant of much busyness.
Come on.
Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel.
Right.
Meaning, why are you speaking to somebody that ain't in that profession? I'm not gonna go talk to a
Right.
locksmith about. I'm not gonna go talk to a locksmith about my car being broken down.
Right.
What is he gonna do for my car? He fix locks. He don't fix
Right.
my car. Huh? Come on.
But be continually with godly man,
Uh-huh.
whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Most High, whose mind is according to thy mind.
Y'all heard that? So if somebody's sick in the mind and they're not looking for a cure, why are you being around them?
That's right.
You not around nobody that got the flu? Because you don't want that flu.
Right, right.
So why is you around a sick person that want to be sick?
But we take it lightly.
Huh?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. When anything fit, it's like you know how much of a physical people we became. When it's something physical, you run from it. When
Right.
it's something spiritual, you be like, oh, no, it's cool. Let me mingle with the devil. Let me,
Right.
yeah, we can go eat.
Unless they looking for the cure.
Right.
Right, right.
Unless they looking for the cure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like you will go to funerals. You will go to a funeral. It's people that ain't spoke to each other, been mad at the family for years. They still won't speak to each other. You have a family get together or a reunion. It's fights at the reunion. But we do stuff like this though. You will stay away from a common cold, but then you will hang with somebody that's full of negativity.
That's what it's
And
saying.
wonder why your life is miserable as hell.
And notice the key words it said in there, take counsel from them people.
Right.
Now look, ain't nothing wrong with a puree sandwich if you put mayonnaise on it. See, that would be a counsel of a sick person that you take. I ain't never thought about it like that. Maybe that's why God don't want us to eat pork.
Exactly.
Because we didn't put mayonnaise on it. No.
Or you hear from or a woman. Ain't got no man but got all the man advice.
Right.
You ain't got no man. Why is
Right.
you talking to my woman?
Right.
You don't have a man.
Right.
For a reason. Maybe because you're too busy talking.
Right. So it says don't take counsel for that. Now if it's somebody sick and they looking for counsel, then you have to hang around them till they get well.
Exactly.
Because that's what the doctors
That's
do.
why I said choose to be sick.
Yeah.
Don't hang around nobody that chooses to be sick. Come
Yeah.
on.
And will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
Come on.
And let the counsel of thine own heart stand. For there is no man more faithful unto thee than
You
it.
hear that? Reason with yourself.
Right.
Study to show thyself approved. Don't walk with nobody else saying. You go look it up for yourself. Everything I talk about, I encourage y'all. Look it up.
You always
Blow
do that.
your mind.
Y'all
Right.
always does.
Look it up. Like, look it up. Count me as a liar. Prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Go look it up. Come on.
For a man's mind is sometimes wont to tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in high tower.
Come on.
And above all this, pray to the Most
What
High.
is that?
Pray to the Most High.
Pray to the Most High. But how can you pray to the Most High when you have no connection? You sick. You want to be sick. You have no connection. Your pineal gland is smothered with ham hocks and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You sick. You have no connection to the heavens. So how you gonna pray to the Most High? You gonna be talking to yourself. You be talking to yourself. Huh? Come on.
Pray to the Most High that he will direct thy way in truth. Let reason go before every enterprise and counsel before every action.
Come on.
The countenance is a sign of changing of the heart.
You heard me? The who?
The countenance
The countenance is a sign of changing what? The heart, letting you know that your mind is your heart.
Yeah,
Right.
back on that.
Huh? Come on.
Right,
Man,
and also let me say this too, and how you look and people can tell what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Because your countenance changed. Even if you sick. You know, if you ate something bad, you got that sick look, don't you?
Yeah, that
And people don't have to, yeah, what kind of face is it called?
face.
Look, yeah, you like, look, I need to go bad, but I just can't right now. And you looking like, man, you need to go in there. That face is, look, you can tell the face of trouble at home. You can tell the face of, I just got fired.
In the face
you
of
know.
somebody lying.
Yeah. It's the countenance that shows what's in the heart, y'all. That's why when we fasted, we weren't supposed to show nobody a fasting face. Because now you're looking for sympathy. Oh, you really don't want to get rid of that. You just want to make the people think you want to get rid of that.
Rewarded by men.
Yeah. Yeah, you're looking for a different reward. Go ahead, bro.
Sis got a question.
Okay.
Go ahead, sis.
So how long after eating you're supposed to fast?
How long after eating? You talking about when you going on a fast?
Right.
I mean-
It's not just fast.
Everybody got their own time to fast unless you're doing the feast. You gotta fast for 24 hours. It's all about you. If you, like, this is what I do personally. I challenge myself. Like, I go, you know what I'm saying? If I did a day, next time I'm going 3. If I did 3, next time I'm gonna try to go 4. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you wanna do it and make sure it's for a purpose. Like, if you see Joseph fasted every day, you start getting the lost books, he fasted every single day. Reuben, after he did his sins, he fasted every single day. So you pick your own times to fast unless it's according to the feast day. But when the thing is about fasting is, everybody think fasting is just not drinking water and eating food, or not eating food and drinking water, or, you know, I'm addicted to the PlayStation, I'm not going to play my PlayStation. A fasting is really afflicting your soul.
Yeah.
That means you will not feed your body, because food fuels your soul. So the best way to afflict your soul is not feeding your soul. That's why they say to starve out demons, you do what? You fast, because it is attached onto what? Your glands and your organs. What sits inside those? Your nutrients from the food you eat. So to starve them out, you have to starve yourself. It's called afflicting yourself.
Yeah.
So you pick your own times. Just, you know, go with that within yourself and holler at the Most High, because it's none of our business. If you want to fast for however long you want to do it, just make sure you stick to it. Don't declare a fast, and don't declare a fast and then not do it, because now the fast become impure at that time. And you have to have pureness when you fast. And make sure you're doing it for a reason.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, for real, if you actually think about it, we're coming into a time where it's going to be an effect. You ain't going to be able to eat no food and get no water. You ain't going to be able to have your Bible. So it's good to practice it now. I mean, we did it living in the hood when we was kids. I ain't eat for 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to go back into that, because the times we're coming into.
Yeah.
And we can't be that dependent on food like that anyway. If you can't stop eating for a couple of hours, that is a sickness.
Yeah.
If you can't stop eating just because for one day, that is a sickness.
Man shall not live by bread alone.
Exactly. By every living word of God.
Yeah, so we're saying that's a prepared thing, because no food for 2 weeks, you're gonna die. No water for 3 days, you're probably gonna die. So when you fast, your body is prepared already for that. You just can't go into a fast without instructions. Right, your body has to get prepared. Even when you're coming off a fast, you just can't go and get the double whopper burger and fries and supersize it. Coming off a fast, you're going to start immediately cramping up. You got to start with broth and work your way back up through eating to solid food.
Like they was talking about being weaned off the milk. They just don't stop it. You just ain't finna be getting my nutrients from my breast every day like you was at first. I'm gonna give you a little, I'm gonna give you a little bit, a little. Next thing you know, you want honey now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't cut it off cold turkey like that.
Right.
You think you're supposed to be cold turkey and it's sin.
Right.
That's it. Cut that off like that.
You see a 5-year-old getting breast milk, something wrong. He trying to move daddy out of the way. He too old.
That's a picture now. That's, you know,
right, he trying to make daddy jealous.
That's a picture.
Come on, Hebrew. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 18.
Verse 18, y'all.
4 manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
That's true, come on.
There is one that is wise and teaching many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Y'all see that all the time. Somebody that do not practice what they preach. They good at speaking and speaking life into others, but behind closed doors, they whole life is in shambles.
Yeah.
Come on.
There is one that showeth wisdom in words, and is hated. He shall be destitute of all food.
Come on.
For grace is not given him from the Lord, because he is deprived of all wisdom.
Hear that? He sound good. He sound good. He got all this knowledge. There's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is when you apply knowledge to actually, in certain different circumstances and situations, to rise above it. We have a lot of people with knowledge out here. Knowledge just means knowing. Anybody can know something. Now y'all know what melanin is. What are y'all going to do the nutritional things to feed your melanin? Well, once you do that, that's called wisdom. Because now you have the wisdom and understanding to feed your melanin. It's a difference. Come on.
Another is wise to himself, and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth.
And we see that on Facebook time and time again.
Yes, sir.
We see the YouTube videos. We've been at war lately, so y'all see that right there. Everybody is self-proclaimed now, think they know everything and don't know squat.
I got into it with a scholar the other day, didn't even know it.
Everybody is scholar now. Everybody is scholar. Your hotel, my brother, hotel. Egypt. Now we see what the Bible said about it. Everybody want to be a part of Egypt though. He never left Egypt. Never left them. Come on.
A wise man instructed his people, and the fruit of his understanding fail not.
That's because he's getting his understanding from the Most High.
That's right.
Come on.
A wise man shall be filled with blessings.
A wise man shall be what?
Filled with blessings.
When you're wise, you keep the commandments.
That's right.
You keep the commandments, being blessed. You know what the opposite of sickness is? Being blessed, being healed. That's why he called everybody blessed that was able to have children. Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. He's blessed. He got the sperm cells with the dot. He's not shooting blanks. That's blessed. That's a blessed man. He's blessed because he has gifts. He has money. Back then, we looked at our children like that was our currency.
Right.
That's what made us rich. Our children. Come on.
And all they that see him shall count him happy. The days of life of man may be numbered.
You hear that? The days of life of man is numbered. Everybody got that certain clock out time. Everybody. And can't nobody escape that. Nobody. Everybody got a different time schedule where they will not be in this realm of reality no more.
Right.
It's just what it is. And you can't, you know what's crazy? You can't do nothing about it. Nothing. Come on.
But the days of Israel are innumerable.
Because it's forever.
That's right.
It will reign in the kingdom forever.
Yeah, that's
Whether you be a part of
everlasting
that
covenant.
family or not, I mean, I don't know. Whether you be a part of that, because in order for even Israel to rule in Israel, he has to become Israel spiritual.
Right.
Just like the heathen. They got to become us spiritual. We got to become us spiritual too, because we have fell from our spiritual nature.
That's right.
We took on animalistic nature. This is what it is. Just like he called them dogs, we have became dogs. Just like they teaching sickness and filling us with sickness, we choose to buy the sickness.
That's right.
It's one and the same. We all get into the kingdom the same way. That's by the faith of God and by following his laws, statutes, and judgments.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it is. So in that sense, yes, we all are one. Come on.
A wise man shall inherit glory among his people, and his name shall be perpetual.
Come on.
My son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it.
Come on.
And give not that unto it.
Hear that? It says, prove yourself. Reason with yourself. And when you see evil, don't give on to it. Come on.
For all things are unprofitable for all men. Neither has every soul pleasure in everything.
Come on.
Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meat.
You hear that? Quit being so attracted to food like that. Every time you see food, you just, your stomach, you just ate. Now that I'm over your crib, 15 minutes later, I gotta eat again because I'm off of the plate. No, I just ate. I'm not hungry anymore. Right. Why is you so lustful for meat like that? Huh? We see.
Verse 1.
Somebody pick a psalm.
Honor of physician with the honor due unto him
for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
Yes, come on.
The skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration.
Come on.
The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth.
You hear that? That's what we were reading this for. Medicine was created from where? Earth. So why are y'all taking chemicals? Huh? Come on.
And he that is wise will not abhor them.
And he that is wise will not hate them. So the medicines from the earth is herbs. That's your cure, herbs. That's what Christ made for us. We are herbal people. And where we come from, that's how we cure ourselves, through herbs, not through chemicals and all of this other medicine. So medicine is of the earth. So quit letting them give y'all pills.
Oh, yeah.
Medicine is of the earth. So we're gonna stop right there. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a sit down. We're gonna go through everything.
Can I hear verse 15 though?
What's that? Go ahead.
Verse 15 of the same chapter. He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician.
Think right there. And that's where you get people putting all their trust in their doctor. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a sit down on it. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow. We're gonna do the whole thing, and it'll be up on Honor and Humility and Brother on his page. And yell out your page too.
God's Warrior 298.
God's Warrior 298. So that's the question. So the question, well, let's answer it. Or you sick?
Yes.
So we need to find the cure. And it's right here, following the commands. So you said Psalms what? 30. Psalms 30. All right, let's pray and get up out of here, y'all.
Because you're talking about 6 or 7 years of videos.
Yes, ma'am. Say like 2011, 2010.
Hey,
Y'all finish?
yeah, I want to see.
You need Sister Katrina. We gotta make an announcement? Yeah. Come on up, sis. Yeah.
Hey, before
Or you want to just make it back there?
anything we done? Yeah, we done. Did everybody get understanding though?
Yeah. Hallelujah.
All right, go.
Oh yeah, so y'all, in essence, what he's saying is, eat to live, not live to eat.
Right.
You know, so once y'all understand that, but y'all, the kingdom is not about meats and drinks, so always, that's why his final thought is always, if the Messiah in there, you done anyway.
Done done.
Because the Muslims don't eat pork.
Right.
You know, but sis got an announcement tomorrow, y'all, about tomorrow. Go ahead, sis.
We're starting our choir, everyone that wants to be part of the choir.